welcome back. Alright, so let's get back into our next poem, I suppose. I was thinking about this at the end of the last stream. Wow, this light is like really bright. I just bring that off me a little bit. It's a little bit better. There we go. I don't feel like that's too bright. But yeah, I was thinking about this a little bit at the end of the last stream about what I want to say, and I think I'm going to continue to just go with the things that I like. I'm not gonna try to sway them any particular way. So let's start with Bunny. Extreme.
Surprised you didn't go with music. Oh,
I didn't see it. I saw Extreme and I immediately went for it. Not a big candy person. I like strawberries though. I love the ocean.
There's Boop again.
And always the boops. I'm a very calm person, I think. I am a vocalist. I don't like hot weather, so I will go with... I like my alone time. Vivid. I don't know why. Headphones, because we're wearing them. I like hair. Hair's nice. This is getting to be too hard. I don't like making all these decisions. Fun, bouncy, climax, cheeks, fantasy games.
You're writing another sex poem, aren't you?
That was a sex game poem. And here we are, back at the Literature Club once again.
Oh, man. I'm the last one here again?
Don't worry, I just walked in too. Oh, my bad. Hang on.
Yeah.
We can go back and see that somehow.
It's okay. Were you practicing piano again? Said Yuri. Yeah, haha. You must have a lot of determination. Starting this club and now picking up piano? Well, maybe not determination, but I guess passion.
This came out after Undertale, right?
Yeah, I think so. Remember that the club wouldn't be here if it wasn't for all of you. And I'm super happy that you're all willing to help out for the festival, too. I can't wait for the festival. It's gonna be great.
Okay. There we go. That's a little better.
It's gonna be great. Eh? Weren't you complaining about it just yesterday, Natsuki? Well, yeah. I'm not talking about our part of the festival, but it's a whole day of school where we get to play and eat all kinds of delicious food.
You sound a bit like Sayori all of a sudden.
Monica, do they usually have fried squid? Squid? Games? That's a pretty specific thing to look forward to. Oh, come on. Are you saying you don't like squid? You of all people? I didn't say I didn't like it. Besides, what do you mean by you of all people? Because it's right in your name. Mon-ika.
I'm assuming that one of those words is Japanese for squid.
That's not how you say my name at all. Also, that joke makes no sense in translation!
I believe it was an American team that made this game, so that's funny that they put that in there.
She says, never mind. Let's just focus on our own event for now, okay?
I noticed a lot of visual novels, like, all visual novels are essentially Japanese games, so, like, they always tend to have this, like, school festival thing in them.
Is that a Japanese thing?
I think it's more enjoyed in Japan. Like, we have that kind of stuff here, but
I've never had a festival for a school.
You never done like a club fair or anything?
Yeah, but we don't call it a
That's what
festival.
is. Yeah, it's the same idea. This is just a little more extravagant, and I think they enjoy it a
Also,
little
I
bit
don't
more.
think I... Oh, I did. It was during lunch. And I walked up to the girl I had a crush on and I said, "You're in the GSA? Oh my god." And then I became vice president.
Not surprising.
Your reactions aren't as fun as Yuri's or Sayori's anyway. Excuse me.
Where is Sayori, anyways? Oh, there you are. Sayori's sitting at a desk in the corner of the room, looking down at nothing. I walk over to her. Hey, Sayori. I wave my hand in front of her face.
Eh?
You're spacing out again.
Ah. Sorry.
Oh, Siri thought I said Siri, not Sayori. Hey, thank you for the raid! Very much, the troublemaker.
With a party of what?
Dos.
What does that mean?
So, a raid is when someone is streaming,
Yeah.
and they end their stream and bring everyone that was there to another stream.
Cool!
So, shoutouts to you, thank you very much. And I hope you enjoy Doki Doki.
You can go talk to everyone else.
Huh. Is everything alright?
Of course. Why wouldn't it be? Just feels... Oh, sorry, that's you.
That's okay. It just feels like you're a little off. Sorry for assuming things.
Geez, you worry too much about me. I'm fine, see? Oh boy, that's me.
Sayori shows a big smile.
Don't let me distract you from having fun with everyone.
Well, alright, if you say so. For anyone just joining the stream, this is a blind stream. I have never played this game before. My partner has played part of it, but they haven't finished it, and I have never played it before, so no spoilers, please. I worriedly glance at Sayori before turning back toward everyone else. But the conversation has already dispersed, with everyone back at their usual activities. Maybe I should ask Monica if she's noticed anything about Sayori recently. Since they've been preparing for the festival, they must be spending a lot of time together. I timidly approach Monica, who is shuffling through some papers at her desk.
Ricky, what's up?
Hey, this might sound a little strange, but have you noticed anything up with Sayori recently?
Anything up with her? In what way do you mean?
Maybe I'm reading it a little too much, but it seems a bit downcast today.
Oh, you think so? I can't say I've noticed anything about her.
Monica peers across the room at Sayori, who is idly dragging a rubber eraser up and down her desk.
Maybe there's something on her mind. But I'm surprised I'm not the one asking you, Ricky. You certainly know her a lot better than I do.
Yeah, but she's never really like this. She's always talked to me about things that bothered her, but this time when I asked her, she was really dismissive. Sorry, I know it's not your problem. I just wanted to ask if you knew anything, so I'll drop it now.
No. It's important to me too. I mean, I'm also friends with her. And I also care about the well-being of my club members, you know? Hold on. Sorry. Maybe
okay.
I'll try talking to her myself.
Are you sure about that? She seemed like she wanted to be left alone.
Are you sure? Maybe she just has a hard time bringing it up with the person of interest.
Person of interest? What do you mean by that?
I'm saying that maybe the thing on her mind is you, Ricky.
Me? How on earth would you come to that conclusion?
Well, I probably shouldn't say too much, but Sayori talks about you more than anything else, you know?
Huh? She's... Oh, sorry.
She's been so much happier ever since you've joined the club. It's like an extra light was turned on inside of her.
What? No way. Sayori is always like that. She's always been full of sunshine. It's not any different now than it always has been.
You're so funny, Ricky. Have you thought that maybe you've always seen her as so cheerful because that's just how she is when she's around you? I said too much. I'm sorry, what do I know anyway? I didn't mean to jump to conclusions, so you should just forget about what I said. I'll try to talk to her, so try not to think about it for now.
Alright. Monica smiles meaningfully. I know she said to forget about it, but I already know that I won't be able to get her words out of my head. Monica stands up from her desk and walks across the room to where Sayori is sitting. I watch her kneel down next to Sayori and gently talk to her, but she's keeping her voice so quiet that I can't hear her from here. I sigh and sit myself down. I know Sayori told me not to worry about her, and to have fun with everyone else, but that's impossible to do when she's behaving like this. Exactly how much do I care about her that I'm letting this weigh me down so much? Now it feels like I'm the one behaving out of the ordinary, but there's nothing I can do besides wait for Monica.
Hey, you!
Huh? I look up to see Natsuki next to me.
You're just gonna sit there and keep staring at nothing? There isn't that much time, so...
Sorry. I didn't mean to make you worry or anything.
It's not like I'm worried. I was just...
Natsuki glances down at her side. She is holding a volume of manga in her hand. That's right. Something just came up for a minute, but we can get started now. I won't make you wait any longer.
Jeez. Now you're making me feel like a jerk. If something's bothering you, then you could just tell me to leave you alone and I will. I mean, assuming you didn't feel like talking about it or anything.
She practically mumbles that last part. Nah, I'm probably making it seem like a bigger deal than it is. I've just been thinking about Sayori, that's all.
Sayori?
I am surprised he said that.
Thinking about her?
Yeah, she seems pretty down today, but she didn't want to admit it to me, so I can't help but wonder if something happened to her.
Oh.
Natsuki exhales.
Well, first of all, you should really work on your phrasing.
That's what I'm saying.
But anyway, you're her best friend, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. Then in that case, I think you should trust her a little more. If she needed you, then you would be the first person she would go to, right?
Well, I guess that's true.
I mean, some people just have those days. You can't always avoid it. If anything, she probably doesn't want you to worry about her because it's not important.
Yeah, that's kind of what she said to me. Maybe it's not right for me to go against her wishes.
Exactly. If she needs you to worry about her, then it'll be a lot more obvious.
Yeah, I should have thought of that way from the start. Natsuki fiddles with the book she's holding in her hands.
She really means a lot to you, doesn't she?
Don't get the wrong idea or anything. We've just been friends for a long time. It's normal to be worried about your friends. I mean, you were worried about me, so...
I was not! Jeez, if you're fine, then let's hurry and get started already.
Yeah.
Okay, everyone.
That's okay. After some time passes, Monica calls out to the club room.
Why don't we share our poems now?
Before I know it, everything is back to normal. Everyone goes to retrieve their poems, and I do the same. I make eye contact with Monica, and she smiles at me. I wonder what she was talking about with Sayori. Who should I show my poem to first? I'm gonna continue with the order that I've been going with.
Let's see.
You're certainly enthusiastic today.
Of course. You know I like your writing.
I'm just surprised. It seemed like you had a lot of trouble admitting that before.
Well, of course. I just had to put you in your place a little bit. It's not like I was shy or anything stupid like that. Or jealous. I really wasn't jealous. Just because you happen to be a good writer. That's such a dumb thing to get jealous about. Haha.
Natsuki.
What?
You're not very confident about your writing, are you?
What are you talking about? My writing is obviously the best. Right?
It took me a while to figure out, but I think I finally did. Maybe Natsuki acts so arrogant because she's trying to make up for her own insecurities. If she acts like she's the best, then other people might think that way too.
Right? Ricky? Please just tell me you like my poems. I don't care if you hate them. Just please tell me I'm the best. I just really need to hear that from someone. I know I sound stupid, but there's a reason I never shared my poems before this.
Natsuki.
Because nobody ever takes me seriously. What's the point in sharing my poems if people just laugh and say, "That's so cute, just like you, Natsuki"? Sometimes I don't want to be cute, but nobody understands that. I try really hard when I write. The style doesn't matter. The emotions are there. Why can't anybody see that? I just want...
Natsuki trails off. Maybe it's because her lips started to quiver. I look down. Her fists are clenched really tightly. And they actually are in the thing, too. Hey, Natsuki. If you're not careful, you'll rip your own poem. I gently grab the poem with my own hand until she relaxes her grip on it. I place it flat on the desk and smooth out the wrinkles that she put into it.
Don't read it.
Before I can pick it back up, Natsuki snatches the poem up from the desk.
It's not any good. And I know you hate my poems. So you don't have to read this one, okay?
But I want to read it.
Why?
Because I like your poems. I really do. Why would I judge you for your style? It's not like my own style is anything crazy. I mean, it's true that the first time I read one of your poems, I didn't look much into it, but I know you better now. And it's wrong for Yuri to think your style is more amateur than hers. And Sayori, she always means well. But sometimes she's so focused on simple happiness that she doesn't understand what people really want. Yeah, I guess I never really thought about how hard it is for you. And I'm sorry if I was part of that problem. I understand now. You're not just cute, you're a lot more than that. Natsuki, you're doing it again. Once again, Natsuki clutches her poem a little too hard. She looks down, hiding her eyes from me. I never realized how difficult this was for her. But finally, she forces herself to extend her arms and set her poem on the table.
You can read it. Just turn that way. I don't want you to look at my face right now.
Okay, I will.
Because you... Tomorrow will be brighter with me around, but when today is dim, I can only look down. My looking is a little more forward, because you look at me. When I want to say something, I say it with a shout, but my truest feelings can never come out. My words are a little less empty because you listen to me. When something is above me, I reach for the stars. But when I feel small, I don't get very far. My standing is a little bit taller, because you sit with me. I believe in myself with all of my heart. But what do I do when it's torn all apart? My faith is a little bit stronger because you trusted me. My pen always puts my feelings to the test. I'm not a good writer, but my best is my best. My poems are a little bit dearer because you think of me. Because you.
Oh, snap.
Why are you looking at me like that? If you don't like it, then just say it. I won't get mad.
No, it's not that I don't like it. I was just a little surprising to read. I guess I'm not used to hearing such nice things coming from you.
Don't just say that, dummy. What do you think the point of writing is? Expressing things you can't just say.
I agree with that. Yeah, I understand. I think a lot of people, I think that's why like letters and nowadays text messages are so crucial to not only like American society but like everywhere around the world, you know, like so many people cling to written word because it's easier to do that than to physically talk to someone.
Because you have time to think about it more.
Yeah, that's true. There are so many times my mouth just goes way faster than my brain does. I'm sorry for missing the point sometimes. I always mean well, and I'm happy that you showed this to me. I liked it. I almost said I really liked it, and I did.
Well, yeah. I'm a pro, so...
Natsuki mumbles, completely failing to sound confident like she usually does.
Just remember that I can think these things sometimes too. You know, when you're nice to me, it's meaningful.
I'm glad. Sensing Natsuki is satisfied, I start to hand the poem back to her. But as I do, Natsuki takes my hands and pushes them back away. Her soft, small hands surprise me with their assertion.
I don't want it.
Huh? Why not?
I just don't. Jeez.
I realized what Natsuki is doing. Unable to be honest, she's trying to give me the poem in a roundabout way. Well, in that case, I'm going to keep it. Instead of teasing her, I chose to go along with it.
Good. If you didn't, I would... Never mind. Just, I'm glad that you want it.
Natsuki backpedals on her words and leaves it at that. Despite her best efforts to hide her expression, I can see her faintly smiling to herself.
That's all for now, so...
I'm just adding words left and right.
Go put it away before someone sees it, okay?
Yeah, I'll go do that. With that, I return to my seat so I can put away Natsuki's poem.
She didn't read yours.
Next girl. I know, yeah.
And also, what is she gonna show to the other people? Nothing?
Yeah, I guess so. I have the
They
poem.
made a big deal about that last time, though. Lily. She's sleeping.
Good.
It's nice, I guess.
Come on, I can already tell that you don't like it.
Well, you don't need to worry about what I think. After all, you wrote this for someone else, didn't you? Probably Natsuki.
Huh? I didn't write this for anyone specifically.
Maybe. That's not really what I meant, though. But it's okay. You're making new friends, just like I was hoping. That makes me really happy. And you're happy too, right? In this club?
Well, of course I am.
Good. That's all that matters to me. Thank you, Ricky.
Sayori, is there something wrong?
Huh? No, nothing. I'm just a little tired today.
Alright, just tell me if you need anything.
I will. Don't worry about me, okay? You can go play with everyone else now.
If you insist.
Yay! I'm gonna go home a little bit early today.
Sayori,
Tell Monica I wasn't feeling well, okay? I'll see you tomorrow.
before I can say anything else, Sayori cheerfully walks out of the classroom humming to herself. Okay, no one is reading anyone's poems today, apparently.
Well done, Ricky. You've definitely improved your writing over the course of these few days. Has my advice been helpful to you?
Yeah, definitely.
I'm glad. Sharing our writing like this, it's a lot more fun and rewarding than I anticipated. I need to remember to thank Monica. I think we all felt a little awkward at first, but now it seems like everyone is enjoying sharing their writing and seeing what others think.
I guess I can't really disagree. I was afraid this whole thing would be a chore. I'm surprised that he didn't decide to finish that sentence. He instead goes to an internal monologue. But it's a great way for me to spend some personal time with all the girls in the club. But it's been fun getting to know everyone in their writing. Okay. And I guess doing some writing myself.
Well, have you learned anything about yourself, Ricky?
Huh?
Well, you know how I like to say that writing is a very personal way to get in touch with yourself? In the end, it doesn't matter if you're a good writer or a bad writer. And even my opinions are just opinions, you know? As always, I believe what's most important is exploring and discovering yourself.
That's comforting. I'm kind of afraid of disappointing you in some way or another.
Your face. Why me?
Well, you're always sophisticated with your writing and have the most advice to share.
Is that so?
Yuri thinks for a good minute.
That must be terrible.
Huh?
For me to have become someone whose opinion is fearsome? How unlikable of me.
That's a way to put it, Yuri. It's not as bad as you're making it sound in your head. I just meant that I respect your opinion.
I see. I'm sorry that I always overthink and come to those sorts of conclusions.
It's very pessimistic.
She's been the sad girl the whole time.
Yeah.
I'm just a little too used to it.
Overthinking?
Being disliked.
Oh, Yuri. What? Oh.
What am I saying? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bring that up. Let's move on.
Alright. Do you want to share your poem now?
Okay. Here. Beach. A marvel millions of years in the making, where the womb of Earth chaotically meets the surface, under a clear blue sky and expanse of bliss, but beneath gray rolling clouds an endless enigma. The easiest world to get lost in is one where everything can be found. One can only build a sandcastle where the sand is wet, but where the sand is wet, the tide comes. Will it gently lick at your foundations until you give in? Or will a sudden wave send you crashing down in the blink of an eye? Either way, the outcome is the same, yet we still build sandcastles. I stand where the foam wraps around my ankles, where my toes squish into the sand. The salty air is therapeutic, the breeze is gentle yet powerful. I sink my toes into the ultimate boundary line, tempted by the foamy tendrils. This is a hentai poem. Turn back and I abandon my peace to erode at the shore. Drift forward and I return to earth forevermore.
I like that poem, but I'm so sick of the overuse of sandcastles in writing. It's like so cliche at this
Sandcastles
point.
in the sand.
Yeah.
I'm aware that the beach is kind of an inane thing to write about, but I did my best to take a metaphorical approach to it.
You say that like you didn't even want to write about it.
Oh, you haven't heard? After yesterday, Natsuki and I, well, it was amusing that we wrote about something similar in such different ways. So Natsuki wanted us to write about the same topic as each other again.
I see. Something tells me the poem Natsuki showed me isn't the one she plans on sharing with everyone else. Of course, I choose not to mention that to Yuri. So that explains that, I suppose.
I suppose to better compare the differences in our writing styles, or thought processes. Anyway, it was her idea. Knowing her, it's no surprise that she'd want to do something like that. She probably just wants to show off. It's not like I have a particular interest in her writing style. Oof. I just went with her request. But, well, I suppose it's not so bad to write about something simple on occasion. It can be refreshing, you know? It was good for me to calm my thoughts once in a while.
Yeah, I think I agree. Thanks for sharing. Yuri has become very anti-Natsuki.
They've been kind of fighting the whole time.
They were fighting, but like, she's like, every time we talk to her now, she's like, yeah, I don't like Natsuki.
Well, they're opposites.
Yeah.
Hi, Ricky! Have you thought about what you want to submit to perform at the festival?
Well, being at this club is one thing, but performing it in front of a bunch of people? I'll have to give it some more thought.
Okay, no pressure. But whatever you do, I'm sure it'll turn out great. It would also make me happy to see. Haha. Anyway, let's take a look at today's poem.
Sure. I let Monica take the poem I'm holding in my hands.
Sticking with the Natsuki style once more, I see. You really like Natsuki, don't you?
Huh? That's...
Oh, come on, Ricky. It's awfully suspicious, you know, spending time with her in the club room every day, pretending to like the manga she's into.
You know how Natsuki is. If I don't indulge her, she'll end up hating me.
No, I think you're misunderstanding, Ricky. It's not like Natsuki just hates anyone who doesn't give her what she wants. Yeah, she's assertive, but she's not that selfish. In fact, I think you're the only one who's indulged her as much as you have.
Is that so? I kinda knew that, but I didn't want to just admit it.
So I just need to ask one thing of you. Be careful, please. Natsuki's kind of unpredictable. A lot of times she doesn't even know what she wants. After all, she's the youngest one here. She might not know how to handle her own feelings properly. What I'm saying is, if something bad happens, then it could end up damaging the club, too. And you wouldn't do that to me, right?
I'm not sure how to respond to Monica. While I care about her in the club, it's also kind of unfair to bring that up. That's what I was gonna say, too. Like, she's, like, very much stepping out of her boundaries here. Because, like, if it is the protagonist's choice to start a relationship with Natsuki, and Natsuki also, like, that's their decision, whether they be a part of the club or not, you know?
Well, you're smart. I'm sure you'll do the right thing.
Monica smiles sweetly.
Anyway, I'll share my poem with you now, alright?
Also, I just realized that she spells Monica with a K, and, like, no one in the world does that.
I said it last stream that
Did you?
my other coworker, Monica.
Oh, you did. That's
Yeah.
right. I forgot about that. Alright. The Lady Who Knows Everything. An old tale of a lady who wanders Earth. The lady who knows everything. A beautiful lady who has found every answer, all meaning, all purpose, and all that was ever sought. And here I am, a feather, lost adrift in the sky, victim of the currents of the wind. Day after day I search with little hope, knowing legends don't exist. But when all else has failed me, when all others have turned away, the legend is all that remains, the last dim stars glimmering in the twilight sky. Until one day, the wind eases to blow. I fall, and I fall, and I fall, and I fall even more. Gentle as a feather, a dry quill, expressionless. Also, I like the cross on that quill that makes it look like an actual quill. Kind of neat.
That's how cursive Qs are done, kind of.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't remember. But a hand catches me between the thumb and forefinger, the hand of a beautiful lady. I look at her eyes and find no end to her gaze. The lady who knows everything knows what I am thinking. Before I can speak, she responds in a hollow voice. I have found every answer, all of which amount to nothing. There is no meaning, there is no purpose, and we seek only the impossible. I am not your legend does not exist. And with a breath, she blows me back afloat, and I pick up a gust of wind. I don't know, I don't think that was a metaphor. I think that was an actual story of something that happened to her.
You know, I feel like learning and looking for answers are the sorts of things that give life meaning. Not to get too philosophical or anything, but it was kind of on my mind, so that's what I wrote about.
I see. I never really put that much thought into it.
In a way, it's almost paradoxical, because if we had all the answers, wouldn't the world start to lose its meaning?
You know, there's one thing I noticed. It seems like everyone in the club prefers writing about things that are more sad than happy.
Hahaha, are you surprised?
I feel like that's poems in general.
I mean, if everything was okay, we wouldn't really have anything to write about, would we? Humans are aren't two-dimensional creatures.
No, I think we're pretty two-dimensional.
I think you'd know that better than anyone.
You mean one-dimensional?
Ah, yeah. That. Anyway. Here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Are you ever too shy to share your writing because you're afraid it's not that good? It can be really disheartening to get a lukewarm response to something you put so much into. But if you find other people who enjoy writing, then sharing becomes a lot easier. Because instead of just telling you that your writing is good or okay or bad, they'll want to focus more on everything that went into it and the things you can work on. It's much more encouraging that way, and it'll make you want to continue improving. It's almost like having your own little literature club, don't you think? That's my advice for today.
It's actually good
Thanks
life
for
advice.
listening. Yeah, I wish
like
I had
that.
learned how to take criticism when I was...
It's very...
I don't do that very well.
Very important process of any artist of any form.
Nope. Okay, you three. We're all done sharing poems, right? Why don't we start figuring out... Hold on a second. Is it just me, or did you say something strange just now? Huh? Something did sound a bit unusual.
Was it because she said you three because Sayuri left?
That's right. You deviated from your usual catchphrase when addressing the club. Catchphrase? I don't have a catchphrase. Jeez. Why is the mood so weird today? Look, even Yuri isn't immune to it. Ugh. Stagnating air is common foreshadowing that something terrible is about to happen.
Alright, so we're, like, about to get to the thing, I assume. In your books, maybe. Look, the only thing different is that Sayuri isn't here.
Ah, it seems you're right. Sayuri always lightens the mood a little bit, doesn't she? It's almost like everyone's balance is thrown off a little when she's not around. Where the heck did she run off to, anyway? I thought she just went to pee. Natsuki, please show some decency. Oh, come on.
She actually wasn't feeling too well and went home early.
Is that so? I hope she's alright. Seriously? Of all the times not to go home with her, you pick the time she's not feeling well?
Classic Natsuki.
So much for you two being all lovey-dovey.
No. First of all, stop misunderstanding my friendship with Sayuri. And second, she's kind of been avoiding me today, so I didn't want to force it.
Who?
That curious expression coming from Yuri of all people?
Calm down, guys. I talked to her earlier and everything is fine.
What did she say?
Anyway, we need to figure out the rest of the festival preparations, so let's decide what everyone will be doing this weekend.
Wow.
I already know what I'm doing. That's right. Natsuki will be making cupcakes. But we might need a lot of them in different flavors. Can you handle all that by yourself, Natsuki? Challenge accepted. And as for myself...
It's been a long time since I've heard someone say that. What?
I'm thinking about Barney.
Yeah.
I'm going to be printing and assembling all the poetry pamphlets. Sayori will be helping me design them. And as for Yuri, you can, guys, can you help me come up with something for Yuri? I'm useless. No, that's not it at all. You're the most talented person here, you know? Now Natsuki's pouting too?
Geez, even I can tell now. I guess I never gave Sayuri enough credit, but I can tell things are even harder on you now that she's not around.
That may be the case. But if I can't also be a leader on my own, then I won't grow as a person. So, Yuri, you have beautiful handwriting, you know. So you should make some banners and decorations to help set the atmosphere. Atmosphere? About that. I love atmosphere.
Yuri's expression suddenly changes as she stares at her desk in focus and starts nodding to herself. Your mind is already racing, I see.
That's great! You'll be a wonderful help, Yuri. But anyway, that just leaves you, Ricky.
The one who's truly useless.
Don't say that. In fact, both Natsuki and Yuri have some pretty heavy tasks to handle. It would probably go a long way to give one of them a hand. You could always help me out as well. I would be really appreciative of that.
Is Monica suggesting I spend the weekend with one of my club members? How on earth are they going to respond to a suggestion like that?
I suppose I wouldn't mind a bit of help. Well, even if you don't know how to bake, there's always some dirty work I could give to you. It's not like Monica's going to give me a choice and you shouldn't be sitting on your butt anyway.
Natsuki tries to mumble a bunch of excuses like that.
If I recall, Natsuki, you mentioned that you would like to handle the baking on your own. Ricky may not like to be around if you only make him out to be a nuisance. So therefore, he may be more suited to assisting with the decorations. Hold on, I never said that! How hard could it be to make a few decorations anyway? Sounds more like you're just making excuses for Ricky to... What are you saying? It will be extremely meticulous work. And baking isn't? Just what do you think? Guys, let's settle down for a moment. This is really weird having a fight with myself and also mediating.
I bet.
And I don't do voice changes, so it's very like... In the end, I think it's up to Ricky to decide how he'd like to contribute. Besides, he hasn't really gotten the chance to spend any time with me yet, you know? I'm sure he's interested in... You literally just said... I'm surprised as well. Sorry. I was just saying, though. Jeez. Can we just settle this already? Yeah. Ricky, you're okay with this, right?
I'm assuming I have a choice to make here. And I already know who I'm choosing.
In the end, it's up to you.
Of course.
Humph. Very well. In that case...
Everyone looks straight at me, but of course I'm going with...
You could help Sayori!
Huh, I wonder what would happen.
Game ends.
Well, baking sounds like it could be fun. And you guys made it sound like a lot of work, so it could probably use 2 people.
Don't worry. Baking is a ton of fun. You'll definitely agree. Just a minute ago you were saying that... That's because... Never mind, okay?
I do really like Natsuki's pink eyes.
Yeah.
They're nice.
Well, anyway. You'll be fine by yourself, right, Yuri? Of course. I'm used to it after all. That's good.
Taco. Even though Yuri is being melodramatic, it's a little hard to not feel that.
That I haven't heard in a long time.
I know.
So that's everyone, right? Anything else we need to talk about? No, I think that's it. Are you guys excited? Yes. Everything except the performance is gonna be awesome.
Yeah, I agree with that. Not much of a performer myself. I don't think that really counts.
What about you, Ricky?
Me? I guess you could say I'm interested to see how it'll turn out.
That's good enough for me. What about you, Yuri? Yuri? She's still sulking.
Natsuki starts pouting too.
It's not that big of a deal or anything.
Well, it might not be just that. I think that Yuri might just be feeling a little underappreciated in general. The main character is very on point with sensing everyone's feelings. Having to come up with something for her to do and then nobody offering to help.
That doesn't mean...
Natsuki glances back and forth between everyone with a worried expression.
Look,
Natsuki goes over and puts her hands down on Yuri's shoulders.
Yuri, you really are the most talented one here, and you're gonna help make the event a lot more fun and welcoming. I mean, the cupcakes will probably help a lot too, but you're gonna make the atmosphere special. That'll be really important for the way that people feel during the performances, so you need to stop being dumb and give yourself a little more credit.
Natsuki releases her hands and turns around to face the other direction.
You didn't really mean that, did you? Not really, but...
Yuri isn't the only one surprised. Monica and I are also taken aback by Natsuki's words. Natsuki, of all people, to be saying such encouraging things. But I begin to understand. Natsuki was trying to sound like Sayori. Even if it didn't work perfectly, I can tell she tried to say something Sayori would say at a moment like this, because Sayori always helps everyone smile and feel good about themselves.
I'm sorry for being dumb. I'm going to do my best, and all of us are going to make it a really great event. Yeah! Yeah! I hope to see everyone do their best. But with that, there's nothing more for today. So I guess it's time for us to head out. Okay, but I'm staying here a bit longer. I barely got to do any reading today, so... Fair enough, there's nothing wrong with that.
Everyone packs up their things. I start to follow Monica and Yuri out the door as they chat between each other. I'm assuming the main character is going to stay behind with Natsuki.
Where are you going?
Huh?
We still need to figure out our plans for this weekend. You literally would have gotten home and realized that you didn't even have a way to contact me.
While snapping to get her number. Oh, that's true. I have no idea how that slipped my mind.
Geez, good thing I stopped you. I'm giving you my number, okay? You better not make it weird or anything.
Why would I do that?
Oomph.
Natsuki gives me her number.
Okay. I'm coming over on Sunday. I'll bring all the ingredients.
Wait! You're coming to my house?
Well, yeah. What's wrong with that?
I mean, I just figured that since I'm the one helping, I would be going to your house.
Yeah, right. Like I could have a guy over my house. My dad would kill me.
So they do have parents. Really? That's kind of strict if you ask me.
Yeah, how do you think I feel? I can't do anything when my dad is home. Anyway, I just needed to complain for a second. We have each other's numbers now. That's all I needed from you.
Ouch.
I guess I'll text you when I'm coming over.
Alright, fine by me.
Yeah.
Oh, I wonder if I get to see the protagonist's house.
I'm really gonna show you why I love baking so much. So you'd better look forward to it.
Oh? Didn't you say you were just gonna give me the dirty work?
Well, I was just saying that. It's not like I could act like in front of everyone. I was looking forward to this.
Wait, really?
Well, kind of. Just because I never got to bake with someone else before. That's all it is, so...
Alright, I get it. Sorry for overreacting. Anyway, I'll be heading out now. See you on Sunday.
Ah. Never mind. She wanted you to stay and read with her.
Also, it's Sunday because school happens on Saturday in Japan.
Really?
Yeah, they have 6-day school weeks.
It sucks.
They only have Sundays off. I can't believe this. Natsuki is going to be coming to my house on Sunday? My anxiety shoots through the roof.
Do they know that today is Sunday? When we're filming this,
I guess
it's
so.
Sunday?
Even though I've gotten pretty used to handling her at this point, there's no telling what might end up happening when we're outside of school. More than that, she told me she was looking forward to it. Is this the chance I have to make something happen between us? Or is it too early for that? Only time will tell. But until then, I won't be able to take my mind off of it. I seriously can't wait. Well, it's glad to see the protagonist excited about something for once in his life. It's already Sunday. I'm getting increasingly anxious about Natsuki's upcoming visit. I keep telling myself there's no reason to be nervous, but it doesn't help much. I wonder if she'll act any different when it's just the two of us. Meanwhile, she's been texting me a lot. We sent each other one after exchanging numbers to double check, but it turned into conversation. She's almost a different personality on the phone, using tons of emoji and cute language. I had no idea the plural of emoji is emoji.
It's supposed to be.
Wow. I can't believe I never knew that. I have a little bit of hiccups right now. I'm sorry. She also really likes complaining about things, but I kind of saw that one coming. But putting Natsuki aside, I haven't heard anything from Sayuri since she left the club early the other day. It's not like we text each other all the time or anything, but I've been worried about her in the back of my mind. Between what Sayuri said and what Monica said, is it really okay for me to put Sayuri's feelings aside when she might need me? I decide to visit Sayuri before Natsuki comes over. Rather than asking, I simply tell her I'm coming over, much like we've done in the past. Once I reach Sayuri's house, I knock on the door before entering it myself. Again, we used to play so often that we made it a habit of simply entering each other's houses like we were family. That was like one of my favorite things when I was a kid, is like feeling close enough to friends that I could just go into their house without knocking.
Never had that.
No?
But I've never lived
But you
anywhere
moved
long
around,
enough to
yeah.
make friends like that.
Yeah, I had one friend that I could do that with. The house is quiet. Sayuri isn't anywhere on the first floor, so I assume she's up in her room. It's already strange of her not to run down and greet me. I head up to her bedroom where I finally find her. Sayuri? I want to check out the room. There's a big cow that has hair. There's a bird. And that's about it. That's like the only defining features of her bedroom. Sayuri?
Hi, Ricky.
I sit down in her room. Sayuri first forces a smile, but it's easy to tell that she's different. There is a minute of silence between us. It is also nice to see one of the characters outside of school clothes for
I was
once.
gonna say she's wearing normal clothing.
Yeah, it's nice.
You haven't come over like this in a long time, have you?
I guess you're right. It's been a long time. Not much has really changed, has it? Sayuri's room is messy as it's always been.
Oh,
I also-
there's one piece of paper on the
Yeah,
floor.
I know. I guess there's like a shirt on the chair and the clothes on the on the bookshelf over there. I also recognize the same stuffed animals and wall decorations that she's had for years now.
If you came over more often, it wouldn't be such a mess.
That's because I end up cleaning it for you.
How come you suddenly wanted to come over today? Aren't you supposed to see Natsuki today?
Yeah, but wait, how did you know that? Sayuri had already left by the time we decided that last meeting.
Monica told me. It's only natural for her to keep me informed about the festival preparations, right?
That's true, but what about you? Aren't you going to be helping Monica today?
Of course. But I'm just helping her online. We didn't plan to meet up or anything.
So it's just me and Natsuki then.
Yep.
There's more silence between us. Sayuri stares in a random direction. Everything about her behavior is really uncharacteristic. I finally get to the point. I just wanted to see how you were doing after you left on Friday. When something's wrong, you can't just hide it from me. I know you too well. So, Sayuri smiles, shaking her head.
That's no good, Ricky.
Hmm?
Why can't it just be like it's always been? This is all my fault. If I didn't get so weak and accidentally express my feelings, if I didn't make that stupid mistake, then you wouldn't have been worried about me at all.
So she's upset that she mentioned that she was, like, basically jealous of Natsuki.
You wouldn't have come here. You wouldn't have been thinking about me right now. But this is just my punishment, isn't it? I'm getting punished for being so selfish. I think that's why the world decided to have you come over today. It just wants to torture me.
Wow. She's turning into Yuri. Sayuri? I grab Sayuri by the shoulders. What on earth are you saying? Are you listening to yourself right now? I know something happened to you. There's no other explanation for you to be like this, so tell me already. Until I know, I won't be able to stop thinking about it. Sayuri gives me an empty smile.
You really put me in a trap, Ricky. But you're wrong. Nothing happened to me. I've always been like this. You're just seeing it for the first time.
Seeing what? What are you talking about, Sayuri?
You're really going to make me say it, aren't you, Ricky? I guess I have no choice this time. The thing is, I've had really bad depression my whole life.
Wow, I didn't expect them to go this way.
Did you know that? Why do you think I'm late to school every day? Because most days I can't even find a reason to get out of bed. What reason is there to do anything when I fully know how worthless I am? Why go to school? Why eat? Why make friends? Why make other people put their energy into caring to waste energy and caring to waste by having them spend it on me? That's what it feels like. And that's why I just want to make everyone happy without anyone worrying about me.
I'm in shock. I can't even figure out how to respond. How is it possible that Sayuri kept this from me the entire time I've known her? Did she really want so badly for me to just not think about her? Why, Sayuri?
Eh?
Why do you have depression? Why is it that you never told me about this? It almost feels like I've been betrayed as your close friend, because if I knew, I would have done everything I could to support you. Even if there's only so much that I could do, I would have tried a little bit harder to make every day a little better for you. That's why I'm your friend. All you had to do was tell me, so you don't... Oh, that's you.
You don't understand at all, Ricky. Why do you think I didn't tell you? Because if I told you, then you would have to waste effort caring about me instead of doing important things. I don't want to be cared about. It's bittersweet when people try to care about me. Feels nice sometimes, but it also feels like a bat being swung against my head.
TV was giving my face weird lighting, and we're not using the TV, so...
But it also feels like a bat being swung against my head. Ah! That's why I wanted so badly for you to make friends with everyone else. Helping everyone be happy together is the best thing for me. But then I discovered something else, too. Seeing you make friends and get closer with everyone in the club feels like a spear going through my heart.
The main character has been portrayed to us to be very perceptive of other people's feelings, and I'm surprised that he didn't pick up on her depression.
This is a pretty good precursor to Life is Strange 3 if we play that. So that's why I decided the world just wants to torture me. Every path leads to nothing but hurt.
You're right that I don't understand. I don't understand your feelings at all, Sayuri. But I don't need to understand. Whatever it takes for me to help you stop hurting, that's what I'll do.
No, Ricky. There's nothing. Nothing at all. The only thing that could have helped us is if everything could be like it always was. But I was selfish. I finally showed you what a horrible person I am.
Tears streaked down Sayuri's face.
I made you join the literature club because I was selfish. I was punished by my heart hurting in a way I couldn't understand. And now you came here and I made you hurt too. I'm just weak and selfish. That's all I am. That's why I'm going to accept these punishments. Because I deserve every last one.
Without thinking, I once again grab Sayuri's shoulders. This time, I pull her into a tight embrace.
Ricky.
Sayuri, I don't care if you feel selfish. I'm really happy that you convinced me to join the club. Seeing you every day makes it worthwhile enough. If I make friends with everyone else, then that's just a bonus. But please never underestimate how much I care about you. I wouldn't have it any other way.
Ricky.
Sayuri isn't hugging me back. Despite my arms being wrapped around her, Sayuri's arms remain at her sides. She starts sobbing next to my ear.
No, don't do this to me. Please don't do this, Ricky.
Sayuri barely manages to speak between her sobs. I don't know if I'm doing the right thing. But all I want is for her to know I care. If you have it in you to call yourself selfish, then you have to let me be selfish too. No matter what it takes, I'll figure out what needs to change. I'll make these feelings go away. And if there's anything that you need me to do, then you'd better tell me. I'll get mad if you don't.
That's not helpful. I don't know. I don't know.
Gently, Sayuri finally puts her arms around me in return.
I don't know anything. It's all really scary. I don't understand any of my feelings, Ricky. The only time I'm not feeling nothing is when I'm feeling pain. But your hugs are so warm, and that's really scary too.
Sayuri lets me go. As she does so, I let her go as well. The festival is tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun, right?
Yeah.
How would you like for me to spend it all with you?
Uh,
It's what I want, I promise.
I think that would be nice then.
Yeah. Sayuri wipes her eyes. If I could spend the whole day here, I would. Of all days, this has to be the one where I have other plans. Maybe I should cancel...
No, don't. Please don't. If you did that, then I really wouldn't forgive you.
But it's almost time for Natsuki to meet me at my house. At the very least, do you want to come along and help out? It would be fun. To my surprise, Sayuri shakes her head.
I'm sorry. I don't know if that would be very good for me today. You understand, right?
It's kind of hard for me to fully understand, but I'm trying my hardest.
It's okay. Don't worry too much about it. I'll see you tomorrow, okay?
Alright. I look forward to it.
I get that.
That was a lot. I say goodbye to Sayuri and exit her house. On my way home, I find myself still feeling uneasy, but it's hard for me to keep thinking about it when Natsuki is about to come over too. I think Sayuri is right. I shouldn't be worrying too much, and we're definitely going to have a great time tomorrow. I should just focus on what's ahead of me. I spend only a few minutes back at home anxiously waiting Natsuki's arrival. Before I know it, she texts me to let me know she's outside the front door. Without delay, I open the front door to let her in.
Aww.
Also, she has a cat on her shirt. That's cute. Also, the protagonist at the beginning of the game was very like, Sayuri, whatever. And now he's like, I'm in love with you, you know?
Yeah, he was literally like,
was
he
very
found her
weird.
annoying at the
Yeah.
beginning of the game.
Very strange.
Sup?
Hey, I don't know what I was expecting, but seeing Natsuki in something other than her school uniform totally threw me off. Seeing her in such cute clothes makes the uniform totally unfitting in comparison.
Jeez, don't make it feel so awkward already. It's gonna be a long afternoon, so don't be weird just because you're not used to seeing me outside of school. Anyway, I'm coming in.
I see you brought a lot of stuff. Natsuki is carrying a large bag that is probably full of baking supplies.
Well, I didn't want to come all this way just to find out that your kitchen isn't equipped for the job. You bought everything I asked you to, right?
Yeah, I did. Yesterday, Natsuki asked me to buy a bunch of ingredients if I didn't already have them at home.
Good. Glad I could count on you to do your part.
Well, of course. I'm surprised to hear Natsuki suddenly saying that, rather than something snarky like she usually does. Could it be that she's a little different outside school after all? Anyway, let's go to the kitchen.
What, you're not even gonna offer to take this heavy bag for me? Where's your hospitality, Ricky?
Come on. Since when did I need to be a gentleman? I grab the bag Natsuki holds out to me. This is ridiculously heavy.
I carried that all the way here. Are you impressed?
I see now. Yeah, I am impressed, Natsuki. It seems like I always underestimate you.
That's because I'm so small, isn't it? You jerk.
Natsuki hits a fist into my chest. Hey. Your size has nothing to do with it. Do you really hate being small that much?
It's not like I hate it. I mean, sometimes I like proving people wrong when they only think I'm worth my size. It's fun when I get to be small and also better than other people. But, geez, never mind. What are you making me say? Don't think you can make me talk about weird things just because we're not at school. Are we getting started or what? There's a lot of stuff I gotta teach you.
That's a little bit more like you. You're more fun when you just speak your mind like that.
Hey, now you are treating me like a little kid. I was just trying to be a little nicer to you, you know? And just because I don't have a mature and sexy figure like Yuri doesn't mean you should treat me like...
Natsuki catches her words and her face turns red. Natsuki,
Forget it. I didn't say anything.
I should apologize.
Eh?
I appreciate that you were trying to be nicer. I should have been a little more considerate too, but also, if that's what you're thinking, then you should know that there are tons of guys who are into body types like yours. This is okay.
What? How would you know that
This is
anyway?
more than I expected. Just trust me on this one.
This is you and me. Gross.
I guess so. Hey, was that to me?
Who else?
Man, let's just get started already.
Ahaha. You get all sour when a girl calls you gross. I finally found your weakness, Ricky.
Natsuki smiles devilishly. Or deviously. I like devilishly better. Please spare me. Well, if Natsuki decides to dish out more insults like that, there's no way I'm not fighting back. But she's satisfied enough for now, finally starting to pull things out of her bag so we can get started. I don't think that's very wise to try to insult her back, but before long the whole kitchen is a mess. Spoons, dirty bowls, flour, spilled fluid, and plastic bags are strewn about every countertop.
You don't have to
The mixer
say
is
fluid.
The mixer isn't big enough to make all the batter at once, so we've had to do it several times. Meanwhile, Natsuki is babysitting all of the movements to make sure I don't mess up her precious baking.
Ricky, where did you put the food coloring? The batter's going to be going in the oven soon, so I need to fill the trays.
I think it's still in the bag next to the table. What are you using it for?
To color the batter, of course. I'm making each tray a different color. That way, even if the flavors aren't different, everyone can still pick their favorite.
Ah, that's a cute idea. Are we doing anything like that with the icing?
Do you want to?
You're asking me? I don't really have a preference, so...
Come on. You're not putting any heart into this at all. Can't you at least try to have fun?
I'm having fun. I'm not really sure what Natsuki is trying to get out of me. Meanwhile, I see her separate the batter into smaller bowls and put a few drops of food coloring into each. Ah, that does look pretty cool.
See? It's not like baking is just about following instructions. Presentation is where you get to be so creative and have the most fun. It's a million times more worth it in the end if just looking at it makes everyone's eyes light up.
Like the ones you made on my first day, huh? I recall Natsuki proudly presenting her cat-shaped cupcakes, and Sayuri and Monika's delighted expressions. I wonder if I can make Natsuki proud like that too. Yeah, maybe I will use the food coloring then.
Sounds like you're starting to understand. Just make sure you completely finish mixing the icing before you mess with the food coloring.
Yeah, it's getting there. We were using the electric mixer for batter, so I got stuck with a whisk and a huge bowl for icing.
Huh? The icing's still all lumpy. Are you even trying?
Well, yeah, it'll just take a little longer.
Geez, I'll be here all night if you do it like that.
That's what she said.
Mm-hmm.
Natsuki grabs the whisk from me and uses her other hand to tilt the bowl back.
You really need to beat the crap out of it.
After a few seconds, the consistency of the icing has already improved.
See?
As if to emphasize, Natsuki sticks a finger in the icing and pops it in her mouth. I reluctantly start to do the same.
Hey!
Natsuki suddenly grabs my wrist.
I don't want your gross fingers in my icing.
Your icing, eh? Are you forgetting who did all the work? I start to fight back, trying to inch my finger towards the bowl.
Don't make me beat the crap out of you next.
I'd like to see you try. I push harder just enough for my finger to reach the icing. I triumphantly scoop some with my finger just as Natsuki tugs with all her might. Ah! The force of Natsuki pulling me causes me to stumble, making her stumble in return.
Gross! You got it on my face.
Whose fault is that? There's a big glob of icing on Natsuki's cheek. She tries to reach it with her tongue, but it's too far away.
Jeez. You know what? Take this.
Natsuki instead wipes it off on her finger before shoving her finger towards my own face. You wish! I'm faster. I grab her wrist with my hand before it reaches my face. Natsuki tries to use her other hand to fight back, but I grab that one as well.
Whoa.
Aw,
Stop.
it's cute. Not until you apologize for me calling me gross.
Fine, fine. I'm sorry for calling you gross. You know I didn't mean it. It's just fun seeing you react to it. You do that to me all the time, you know. Saying dumb things just get a reaction out of me. You really shouldn't tease girls like that.
Is that so? In that case, I probably shouldn't do this either. I take Natsuki's finger and put it in my mouth, licking off the icing.
What? Did you seriously just,
Natsuki is so surprised that she can't even figure out how to get mad at me. Her face is entirely red.
Ricky, you really shouldn't do this kind of thing to girls unless you really like them. You know that, right?
What kind of questioning is she asking me just like that? How did the mood turn to this so quickly? Natsuki gazes at me in silence. I notice her shallow breaths. Why am I starting to feel dizzy? Oh my god, it was poisoned. No, wait, she ate it. No, I ate it.
Yeah.
It's poisoned. Out of nowhere, the fire alarm starts going off. Natsuki rushes over to the kitchen. Or to the oven. Is something burning? I thought you didn't put the cupcakes in yet.
No wonder. You left a dirty tray in there, dummy. You do that all the time.
I
How
don't
could you
leave-
make a mistake like
I
that?
do not leave dirty trays in the
I
oven.
know.
I leave clean trays in the oven.
Still. How could you make a mistake like that?
You should have checked before turning the oven on.
Don't blame me for your mistakes. Jeez.
Natsuki uses an oven mitt to grab the blackened tray out of the oven. She sets it on top of the stove. In another moment, the fire alarm stops.
Anyway, I'm putting them in the oven now.
Yeah, the tension from the moment before still lingers over our heads, but the moment has already been lost. I watch as Natsuki slides the cupcake trays into the oven. Then I reluctantly pick up the whisk and continue with the icing like nothing ever happened.
Damn. Ah, that smells so good.
The cupcakes are ready to be pulled out of the oven. As soon as Natsuki opens the oven door, a blast of sweet-smelling warm air fills the room.
Look how cute they all look.
She proudly shows off the different colored cupcakes in each of the trays. They'll look even better once we add the icing.
Not like you had to tell me that. I brought decorating stuff, so I hope you can get creative. Here, scoop the icing into these bags.
Natsuki hands me some plastic bags.
I have these nozzles that'll make it look nice and fluffy. This one can even make flowers. We probably won't be using it this time, though.
What's this one for? I pick up one of the nozzles that has a much thinner tip than the rest of them.
That one's really thin, so you can use it to make stripes or other patterns. But you can also use it to write stuff on a cake. Like, happy birthday or whatever.
Huh, I see. That gives me an idea, actually.
Huh?
Well, it's a literature event, right? We can make it more literature-themed by writing a different word on each of the cupcakes. It would be fun to see people choose their cupcake based on a word they like. And that's a good idea.
I was kind of expecting you to say something really stupid, but that's actually a really cute idea, so...
Maybe I'm getting it from you.
What's that supposed to mean? I'm not cute.
Come on. We're not at school, nobody's judging. You can't dress and act like this and not expect me to think you're cute.
Boo!
Yeah,
Bad take!
That's a bad mentality to have.
Well,
Natsuki's voice trails off.
same with you.
Did you say something?
No, nothing. Let's just do the icing.
Natsuki picks up the paste and fastens a nozzle onto each of the bags.
There's a lot to do, so we shouldn't be wasting time. Here, I'll show you how to do it.
Without giving me a chance to think about before, Natsuki quickly moves on. She shows me how to apply the icing, and then we each get to work. When we're finally finished, Natsuki puts them all side by side to admire our work.
Look at how pretty they are together.
Yeah, they are, aren't they?
I wish I could have one now.
Well, there's no reason you can't, right? I don't see any harm in that.
Well, yeah, but my dad's making dinner tonight, so I really need to save my appetite.
Sayuri's the exact opposite in that regard. If she was here, we'd probably be down 10 cupcakes already, and she would still eat dinner.
Come on, that's just unhealthy. Besides, when my dad cooks, I need to eat as much of it as I can. Well, anyway, I was hoping we would have time for manga, but I need to be home for dinner.
Already? That's a shame.
It's your fault for working so slowly. You should have thought about that. It's not like you'll always have this chance.
Man. As usual, Natsuki places the blame on me.
You can bring the cupcakes tomorrow, right? If you and Sayori each carry some, then you could probably do it in one trip.
Yeah, I can do that. And don't worry, I won't let her eat any.
Ha ha ha. I wish she would listen to me the way she listens to you.
Yeah. I again think back to the conversation I had with Sayori earlier today. I felt so helpless. Sayori always does listen to me, but at that point, it felt like she couldn't listen to me at all.
Okay, I'm all packed up. Good work today.
You too. I'll walk you out, I guess.
I guess. Like the word of the day.
Yeah, I know. Just like that, Natsuki is already about to leave. It feels like the afternoon went by in a flash. More than that, did I even take the opportunity to get closer to her like I wanted?
You licked her finger!
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'll be off then. Thanks for all the help and everything. I'll see you tomorrow.
Wait, Natsuki.
Eh?
What you said before about not always having this chance, it doesn't have to be that way at all. I had fun today. You showed me how fun baking can be, like you wanted. But aside from that, you can come over anytime, okay? I think that if possible, I'd like to spend more time like this. If you want to read manga or go out somewhere,
Do you really mean that?
Natsuki looks at me tensely, like she's trying to hide her expression. Yeah. I want to spend more time with you.
I thought you only cared about getting this done. I'm sorry I had to leave so early today. I really didn't want to. I would really stay here longer if I could. I feel the same way as you, so...
Oh. She's so cute. Natsuki suddenly gets closer to me. Wait, Natsuki! Standing inches from me, Natsuki looks up at me. I feel her fingers gently clutch at the sides of my shirt as if holding on to me. Her rose-colored cheeks and matching eyes fill my vision, along with her slightly parted lips. What is happening? My head starts to go dizzy as I feel her soft breaths against me.
I've felt it for a while now.
Natsuki suddenly jumps back.
Sayori? Hi, Ricky.
Sayori? Just now we weren't...
It's okay, Ricky. I just stopped by to say hi. Well, you should have come a little earlier. I'm already on my way out, so... Oh, really? That's too bad. Yeah, well, I'll still see you at the festival tomorrow, so it's fine. Just don't eat any cupcakes before then. Anyway, later.
Clearly flustered, Natsuki hurries off and Sayori waves goodbye. Sayori? I thought you didn't want to come over today.
Oh, well, tried staying in my room, but my imagination was being really mean to me. So I had to come here and see it for myself.
See what? What are you talking about?
You know, how much fun you were having with Natsuki.
Yo, she's a peeper.
How close you got to her makes me really happy.
Oh, she's
that
crying.
You've made such good friends. That's all that matters to me.
Tears start to fall down Sayori's face.
That's all that matters to me. Why am I feeling this way, Ricky? I'm supposed to be happy for you. Why does it feel like my heart is splitting in half? It hurts so much. Everything hurts so much. This would be so much better if I could just disappear.
This is like a lot to put on the protagonist. Sayori, don't say that.
It's true, Ricky. If I wasn't here, then you wouldn't have to waste your sympathy on me. You wouldn't have to put up with me being selfish. Monica was right. I should just...
Monica? Monica was right about what? Sayori, what I said before is true. I'm not going to let this continue. Caring about you like this isn't the burden your mind is making it out to be. It's something that makes me happy. It's something that I wouldn't trade for anything else. So even if it takes an entire lifetime, I'm going to be by your side until you don't feel any more pain.
What?
That's a little unrealistic of him to say.
Yeah, that's a
'cause
big
you don't
commitment
just
to someone
get
who we found annoying 4 days ago.
that, and also you don't just like get rid of depression,
Yeah.
you know? Sayori looks away. I put a hand on her shoulder to reassure her.
I'm scared, Ricky. I'm really scared.
What are you scared of, Sayori?
I'm scared that I might like you more than you like me.
Sayori?
It's true, isn't it? I was weak and started to like you too much, and I did this to myself. Ricky, I like you so much that I want to die. That's how I feel, and...
That's enough, Sayori. I don't want to hurt anymore. I don't want you to hurt anymore. I slide my hand down Sayori's arm and squeeze her hand in my own.
I'm gonna make this about me!
Do you remember how I said I always know what's best for you? Do you still believe me? Wordlessly, Sayori nods. Even if you don't understand all of your own feelings, I know what you need the most right now. And that's what I'm going to give you. No. Why would I say that? Like, I don't want to be a douchebag. I clearly have very strong feelings for Natsuki and have had them for the past few days. And then suddenly today, my character is like, nah, I want to be with Sayori. No, you'll always be my dearest friend. You'll always be my dearest friend. What you need most is for things to be like the way they've always been. Monica told me the truth. She told me how much happier you seemed after I joined the club. I know you're struggling with some really difficult feelings right now, but please trust me that I know what's best, and what will make you happy in the end. I promise I'll get things back to the way they were. Lily's laying down behind us.
I see.
Sayori forces a smile through an incredibly pained expression.
Is this what it feels like to be stabbed in the chest? I should write a poem about this.
Sayori.
It's okay. This is just my punishment, remember? For being so selfish. So please don't worry about these stupid feelings. I know you're right. I knew this whole time that there's no happiness down that path. That's why I came here. Just so I could get the answer I needed to hear. And the other thing, you're also right that I just want it to go back to the way it was. I realize that now. You really do know me better than anyone, Ricky. I'll trust you with anything. Anything at all. So...
Sayori's smile finally breaks. All of a sudden, she turns around and drops to her knees.
Ah!
Clutching her head with both hands, she screams as loudly as she can. I'm so shocked that I don't know how to react. Sayori looks over her shoulder and flashes me one more weak smile before turning around and running off. Sayori! I'm left helplessly standing in front of my house. Why am I feeling so horrible about this? There's nothing more that I could have done. The most I can do is support Sayori through her feelings and help her on the path that's right, but I'm having as much trouble understanding Sayori's feelings as she is. Even though I can comfort her, I keep wondering if I should be doing something more or something different. I know these thoughts will continue to plague me until things are back to the way they were. I'm going to give it everything I've got. Sayori will always be my dearest friend, and I'll do whatever it takes to put a smile on her face every day.
Hey Sayori, have you ever heard of cognitive behavioral therapy?
It's the day of the festival. Of all days, I expected this to be the one where I'd be walking to school with Sayori, but Sayori isn't answering her phone. I considered going to her house to wake her up, but decided that's a little too much. Meanwhile, the preparations for the event should be nearly complete. I managed to carry all the cupcakes myself by carefully stacking 2 trays. Natsuki is already texting up a storm, but I can't respond thanks to my hands being full. Funnily enough, I probably feel the same way as Natsuki does about the event. I'm more excited for it to be over so I can spend time with Sayori and Natsuki at the festival. But knowing Monika, I'm sure the event will be great too.
Ricky! You're the first one here. Thanks for being early.
That's funny, I thought at least Yuri would be here by now. Monika is placing little booklets on each of the desks in the classroom. They must be the ones she prepared to have all the poems we're performing. In the end, I found a random poem online that I thought Monika would like and submitted it. So that's the one I'll be performing.
I'm surprised you didn't bring Sayori with you.
Yeah, she overslept again, that dummy. You'd think that on days this important she'd try a little harder. I say that, but I suddenly remember what Sayori told me yesterday, and I suddenly feel awful, knowing it's not nearly that simple for her. I only said it because that's the way I'm used to thinking.
I like that.
But,
because,
yeah.
like,
I'm
normal
glad that he
people
recognized
would
it.
mess up like that.
Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't be like, oh, but she's depressed.
Yeah. Maybe I should have gone to wake her up after all?
Ha 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 ha. You should take a little responsibility for her, Ricky. I mean, especially after your exchange with her yesterday. You kind of left her hanging this morning, you know?
So does she know about what happened yesterday? Exchange? Monika, you know about that?
Of course I do. I'm the club president, after all.
But... I stammer, embarrassed. Did Sayori really tell her about it that quickly? And how I basically turned down her confession? That makes me really seem like the bad guy here, but I'm the one who knows what's best for her, right? Jeez. You don't know the full story at all, so...
Don't worry. I probably know a lot more than you think.
She's definitely watching us. Huh? Monika is being as friendly as usual, but for some reason I felt a chill down my spine after hearing that.
What do you mean watching us?
Like, watching what we do every single minute of every day? With cameras or something?
Like
physically watching us?
you and Sayori?
No, the main character.
Yeah.
Like, following the main character is what I'm saying.
Mm. Hey, do you want to check out the pamphlets? They came out really nice.
Yeah, sure. I grabbed one of the pamphlets laid out on the desks. Oh yeah, they really did. Something like this will definitely help people take the club more seriously.
Yeah, I thought so too.
I flipped through the pages. Each member's poem is neatly printed on its own page, giving an almost professional feel. I recognized Natsuki and Yuri's poems from the ones they performed during our practice. What's this? I flipped to Sayori's poem. It's different from the one she practiced. It's one that I haven't read before. Oh. That's ominous.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to read that one. It just said get out of my head like over and over again, basically.
What is this? Reading the poem, I get a pit in my stomach.
Ricky? What's wrong?
Nothing. This poem feels completely different from everything Sayori's written, but more than that, I changed my mind. I'm going to go get Sayori, so...
Well, alright. Try not to take too long, okay?
I quickly leave the classroom.
Don't strain yourself.
Monica calls out after me. I quicken my pace. What was I thinking? I should have tried a little bit harder for Sayori. It's not a big deal to at least wait for her or help her wake up. Even though the simple gesture of walking her to school makes her really happy. Besides, I told her yesterday that things will be the same as they always have been. That's all she needs and I want to give to her. I reach Sayori's house and knock on the door. I don't expect an answer since she's not picking up her phone either. Like yesterday, I open the door and let myself in. Sayori? She really is a heavy sleeper. I swallow. I can't believe I ended up doing this after all. Waking her up in her own house. Isn't that more like something a boyfriend would do? In any case, it just feels right. Outside Sayori's room, I knock on her door. Sayori? Wake up, dummy. There's no response. I really didn't want to have to enter a room like this. Isn't it kind of a breach of privacy? She really leaves me no choice. I gently open the door. Oh my god! Wow. I did not expect that. So trigger warning for everyone out there. Also that set, oh, that's like, I'm looking at it on the TV because our webcam is covering that. That's like computer lingo over there. Huh.
Okay.
What the hell?
So obviously I knew this was coming.
Yeah.
I wanted to put a trigger warning or something in the stream, but like,
I mean, the
you
game
were
has
blind,
one at the beginning.
and yeah, it has a couple. We probably should have reiterated that at the beginning of the stream.
Yeah.
But, you know.
What the hell? Is this a nightmare? It has to be. This isn't real. There's no way this can be real. Sayori wouldn't do this. Everything was normal up until a few days ago. That's why I can't believe what my eyes are showing me. I suppressed the urge to vomit. Just yesterday, I told Sayori I would be there for her. I told her I know what's best and that everything will be okay. Then why?
Is anybody else thinking about, like, the Heathers vibes?
Why would she do this? How could I be so helpless? What did I do wrong? Turning down her confession, this has to have been what pushed her over the edge. Her agonized scream still echoes in my ears. Why did I do that to her when she needed me the most? Why was I so selfish? This is my fault! My swarming thoughts keep telling me that everything I could have done to prevent this. If I just spent more time with her, walked her to school, and gave her what I know she wanted out of our relationship, then I could have prevented this. I know I could have prevented this. Screw the literature club. Screw the festival. I just lost my best friend, someone I grew up with. She's gone forever now. Nothing I can do can bring her back. This isn't some game where I can reset and try something different. I had only one chance and I wasn't careful enough, and now I'll carry this guilt with me until I die. Nothing in my life is worth more than hers, but I still couldn't do what she needed from me, and now I can never take it back. Never. 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 See, and that's exactly what I was thinking too, was like...
Can you believe you followed that with a...
Yeah,
It's an end.
That was it? Okay, so that can't be the end of the game. It's not. Because that option is new.
Look.
Oh my god. Okay. Okay. So I have to press this, I suppose. I see an annoying girl running toward me from the distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention she might draw to herself. This girl is my neighbor and good friend since we were children. You know, the kind of friend you never see yourself making today, but it just kind of works out because if you know each other for so long. We used to walk to school together on days like this, but starting around... Alright, I'm not going to continue to read all this, it's all exactly the same. However, I just sigh and idle in front of the crosswalk and let catch up to me.
Lily! Look at Lily! She's so mad at you!
I can't, I have to watch.
She's going like this.
It's an ordinary school day like any other. Mornings are usually just the worst, being surrounded by couples and friend groups walking to school together. Meanwhile, I've always walked to school alone. I always tell myself it's about time I meet some girls or something like that, but I have no motivation to join any clubs. I'm perfectly content just getting by on the average while spending my free time on games and anime. There's always the anime club, but it's not like there would be any girls in it anyway. Okay, so now it's as if I never met her. The school day is as ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the wall, looking for an ounce of motivation. Clubs. There really aren't any that interest me. Besides, most of them would probably be way too demanding for me to want to deal with. I guess I have no choice but to start with the anime club.
Ricky?
Oh god. Monica?
Oh my goodness, I totally didn't expect to see you here. It's been a while, right?
Yeah, it has. Monica smiles sweetly. We do know each other. Well, we rarely talked, but we were in the same class last year. Monica was probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, athletic. Basically completely out of my league. Just turn up the volume for us a little bit so I can hear the in-game audio a little better, so now that it's getting weird. So having her smile at me so genuinely feels a little... What did you come in here for, anyway?
Oh, I've just been looking for some supplies to use for my club. Do you know if there's any construction paper in here? Or markers?
I guess you could check the closet. You're in the debate club, right?
Haha, about that. I actually quit the debate club.
Really? You quit?
Yeah. To be honest, I can't stand all the politics around major clubs. Feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and publicity and how to prepare for events. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it.
In that case, what club did you decide to join?
Actually, I'm starting a new one. A literature club.
Literature? That sounds kind of dull. How many members do you have so far?
It's kind of embarrassing. There's only 3 of us so far. It's really hard to find new members for something that sounds so boring.
Well, I can see that.
But it's really not boring at all, you know? Literature can be anything. Reading, writing, poetry. I mean, one of my members even keeps her manga collection in the club room.
Wait, really?
Yeah, it's funny, right? She always insists that manga is literature too. I mean, she's not wrong, I guess. And besides, a member's a member, right?
Did Monica say she?
Hey, Ricky. By any chance, are you still looking for a club to join?
I mean, I guess so, but...
In that case, is there any chance you could do me a big favor? I won't ask you to join, but if you could at the very least, visit my club, it would make me really happy. Please?
Well, I guess I have no reason to refuse. Besides, how could I ever refuse someone like Monica? Sure, I guess I'll check it out.
Oh, awesome! You're really sweet, Ricky, you know that?
It's nothing, really.
Shall we go then? I'll look for the materials another time. You're more important.
Okay.
Looking for paper.
And thus today marks the day I sold my soul to Monica and her irresistible smile. I dejectedly follow Monica across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit. Monica, full of energy, swings open the classroom door.
I'm back! And I brought a guest with me.
So Monica is playing the part of Sayori right now, essentially. Oh, okay.
A guest? Seriously, you brought a boy? Way to kill the atmosphere. Don't be mean, Natsuki. But anyway, welcome to the club, Ricky.
All words that keep me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls.
So let me guess. You're Monica's boyfriend, right?
What? No, I'm not.
Natsuki.
The girl with the sour attitude, whose name is apparently Natsuki, is one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes her look like a first-year student.
Anyway, this is Natsuki, energetic as usual. And this is Yuri, the vice president. It's nice to meet you.
So Yuri is the vice president. Yuri, who appears comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with someone like Natsuki. Yeah, it's nice to meet both of you.
So I ran into Ricky in a classroom and he decided to come check out the club. Isn't that great? Wait, Monica, didn't I tell you to let me know in advance if you brought anyone new? I was going to, well, you know. Sorry, I didn't forget that, but I just happened to run into him. In that case, I should at least make some tea, right? Yeah, that would be great. Why don't you come sit down, Ricky?
The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. Yuri walks to the corner of the room and opens the closet. Meanwhile, Monica and Natsuki sit across from each other. Still feeling awkward, I'd take a seat next to Monica.
So, I know you didn't really plan on coming here, but we'll make sure you feel right at home, okay? As president of the Literature Club, it's my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. Oh.
Yeah, me too. It must be hard to start a new club.
You could put it that way. Not many people are very interested in putting out all the effort to start something brand new, especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention like literature. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile. But it makes school events like the festival that much more important. I'm confident that we can all really grow this club before we graduate. Right, Natsuki? Well, I guess.
Natsuki reluctantly agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monica must have worked really hard to find these two. Yuri returns to the table, carrying a tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot in the middle. You keep a whole tea set in this classroom?
Don't worry, the teacher gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book?
I guess.
Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. That's not...
Insulted, Yuri looks away.
I meant that, you know.
I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but I at least enjoy tea.
I'm glad.
Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief.
So, Ricky, what kind of things do you like to read?
Well, considering how little I've read these past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. Manga. I mutter quietly to myself, half joking. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. It looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet.
Not much of a reader, I guess?
Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri?
Well, let's see.
Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger.
My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me. And telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive.
Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seems so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious by the way her eyes light up when she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people.
But, you know, I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately.
I read a horror book once. I desperately grasped at something I can relate to at a minimal level. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with a rock. So I see what they're doing here. They're having us re-experience all of the lines that we experienced at the beginning of the game, showing us that, like, they were giving us hints.
Aha, I'd expect that from you, Yuri. It suits your personality. Oh, is that so? Really, if a story makes me think or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. Ugh, I hate horror. Oh, why's that? Well, I just...
Natsuki's eyes dart over me for a split second.
Never mind. That's right, you usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? What? What gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper behind last club meeting. It looked like you were working on a poem called... Don't say it out loud! Then give that back. Fine, fine.
Natsuki, you write your own poems?
Yeah, well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care?
I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometime?
No!
Natsuki averts her eyes.
You wouldn't like them.
Not a very confident writer yet?
I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart.
I wonder if we're gonna just, like, lose one of them at a time.
Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example to help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers.
I guess it's the same for Yuri. We all sit in silence for a moment.
Hey, I just got an idea. How about this?
Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monica.
Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. Then, next time we meet, we'll all share them with each other. That way, everyone is even. I mean, I thought it was a good idea. Well, I think you're right, Monica. We should probably start finding activities for all of us to participate in together. I did decide to take the responsibility of vice president after all. I need to do my best to nurture the club as well as its members. Besides, now that we have a new member, it seems like a good step for us to take. Do you agree as well, Ricky?
Hold on, there's still one problem.
Eh, what's that?
Now that we've reached the most important topic, I bluntly come forth with what's been on my mind the entire time. I never said I would join this club. Monica may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made any decision. I still have other clubs to look at, and, I lose my train of thought. All three girls stare back at me with dejected eyes.
But... I'm sorry, I thought...
The girls exchange glances before Monica turns back to me.
I guess I need to tell you the truth, Ricky. The thing is, we don't have enough members yet to form an official club. We need 4, and I've been trying really, really hard to find new members. If we don't find one more before the festival...
I'm defenseless against these girls. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's all like this? I would feel terrible for letting everyone down in this situation, and besides, the club itself seems pretty relaxed, so if writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls... Right. Okay, I've decided then. I'll join the literature club. One by one, the girls' eyes light up.
Oh my goodness, really? Do you really mean that, Ricky?
Yeah, it could be fun, right?
You really did scare me for a moment. I mean, if you really just left after all this, I would be super pissed. Ricky, I'm so happy. We can become an official club now. Thank you so much for this. You're really amazing. I'll do everything I can to give you a great time, okay?
Thanks, I guess.
Okay, everyone. I think with that, we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem to bring for the next meeting so we can all share.
Monica looks over at me once more.
Ricky, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself.
Yeah, can I really impress the class star Monica with my mediocre writing skills? I already feel the anxiety welling up inside me. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri cleans up the tea set. I guess I'll be on my way then.
Okay. We'll see you tomorrow then. I can't wait.
Hi, Lily.
Here she comes.
With that, I depart the club room and make my way home. The whole way, my mind wanders back and forth between the 3 girls. Ow, no. That hurt. Lily just climbed up on me and we haven't cut her nails for a while. Yuri, and of course Monica. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in a literature club? Perhaps I'll have the chance to grow closer to one of these girls. Alright, I'll just need to make the most of my circumstances, and I'm sure good fortune will find me. And I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. I'm interested to see, like, what... Oh, okay. Sure. Oh, that's weird. It defaults on yes, and... I hate how, like, oh my god. Wow. I should have said no. Boop, 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 milk, boop, 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 bouncy, boop, boop. I don't know. So the words are definitely different this time. I don't like some of these words this time. This is making me a little sad. I like socks. Who doesn't like socks? I like horror. And I love anime. I love the rain. I like hair. Definitely all for that piece. I don't know why Papa is a word. I don't really like that. Memories. Nah, definitely not going with suicide. An Inferno, which is where I'm gonna spend all of my afterlife after this. Extreme.
That's a
Extreme!
lot of Yuri words.
Yeah. I wonder if it, like, intends for me to do the same thing, or if it intends for me to go for someone else.
Hi again, Ricky. Glad to see you didn't run away on us, haha.
Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but I at least keep my word. Well, I'm back at the Literature Club. I'm the last one to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Oh.
Thanks for keeping your promise, Ricky. Hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you. Making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. Oh, come on, like he deserves any slack. He already had to be dragged here by Monica. I don't know if you plan to just come here and hang out or what, but if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it.
Monica, if you could just move over a little bit, please.
Natsuki, you certainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in the classroom.
Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga.
Manga is literature!
Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat.
I'm sorry, Ricky. I'll make sure to put your comfort first, okay?
Okay. Yuri shoots Natsuki with a disappointed glance.
Anyway, now that you're in the club and all, perhaps you might have an interest in picking up a book to read?
Well, I can't really say no either way. Like you said, I'm in this club now. So it only feels right for me to do something like that, if you ask.
Wait, I didn't mean it like that.
Oh, also, it's like a Dutch angle right now. I just realized that. It's never been like that before. I don't think, at least.
Ooh. If you don't really want to, then forget I said anything, I guess.
No, it's not that, Yuri. I want to be a part of this club. So even if I don't read often, I'd be happy to pick up a book if you wanted me to.
Are you sure? I just felt like, well, as vice president and all, that I should help you get started on something you might like.
Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book.
I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention, even if you don't usually read. We could, discuss it, if you wanted.
How is this girl accidentally being so cute? So she even picked out a book she thinks I'll like, despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book.
Phew! Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think.
Yeah, see? Now it's the correct
Yeah?
angle. Now that everyone's settled in, I expected Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet.
Ugh.
I hear Natsuki utter an exasperated sigh from within the closet. She seems to be annoyed by something. I approach her in case she needs a hand. You're looking for something in there? Whoa.
Fucking Monica. She never puts my stuff back in the right spot. What's the point of keeping your collection organized if someone else is just gonna mess it up?
Natsuki slides a bunch of stacked books and boxes across the shelf. Manga.
You read manga, right?
Sometimes. Manga is one of those things where you can't really admit you're into it until you figure out where the other person stands. How did you know, anyway?
I heard you bring it up at some point. Besides, it's kind of written on your face.
What's that supposed to mean? I see. There's a lone volume of manga amidst a stack of various books on the side of the shelves. Curious, I pull it out of the stack.
There it is!
Natsuki snatches it out of my hand. She then turns to a box of manga and slips the volume right in the middle of the rest.
Ah, much better. Seeing a box set with one book missing is probably the most irritating sight in the world.
I know that feel. I get a closer look at the box she's admiring. Parfait Girls? It's a series I've never heard of in my life. Probably means that it's either way out of my demographic or it's simply terrible.
If you're gonna judge, you can do it through the glass on that door.
She points to the classroom door. Hey, I wasn't judging anything. I didn't even say anything.
It was the tone of your voice. But I'll tell you one thing, Ricky. Don't judge a book. In fact,
Natsuki pulls out the first volume of Parfait Girls from the box.
I'm gonna show you exactly why.
She shoves the book right into my hands. I stare at the cover. It features 4 girls in colorful attire striking animated feminine poses. It's exceedingly moe.
Don't just stand there.
Natsuki grabs my arm and pulls me out of the closet, and then she takes a seat against the wall beneath the windowsills. She pats on the ground next to her, signaling for me to sit there. Wouldn't chairs be more comfortable? I take my seat.
Chairs wouldn't work. Can't read at the same time like that.
Why's that? And I guess it's easier to be close together like this.
Don't just say that. You'll make me feel weird about it.
Natsuki crosses her arms and scooches an inch away from me. Sorry. I didn't exactly expect to be sitting this close to her either. Not that I can say it's a particularly bad thing. I open the book. It's only a few seconds before Natsuki once again inches closer, reclaiming the additional space that she hopes I won't notice. I can feel her peering over my shoulder, much more eager to begin reading than I am.
Wow, how long has it been since I read the beginning?
You don't go back and flip through the older volumes every now and then?
Not really. Maybe sometimes after I've already finished the series. Hey, are you paying attention?
I am, but nothing's really happening yet, so I can talk at the same time. It looks like it's about a bunch of friends in high school. Typical slice of life affair. I kind of grew out of these since it's rare for the writing to be entertaining enough for to make up for the lack of plot. Are you sure this isn't boring for you?
It's not.
Even though you're just watching me read?
Well, I'm fine with that.
If you say so. I guess it's fun sharing something you like with someone else. I always get excited when I convince any of my friends to pick up a series I enjoy. You know what I mean? You don't?
That's not... Well, I wouldn't really know.
What do you mean? Don't you share your manga with your friends?
Could you not rub it in? Jeez.
Sorry.
Like I could ever get my friends to read this. They just think manga's for kids. I can't even bring it up with them without being all like, you still haven't grown out of that yet? Makes me want to punch them in the face.
Ugh. I know those kinds of people. Honestly, it takes a lot of effort to find friends who don't judge, much less friends who are into it. I'm already kind of a loser, so I guess I gravitated toward the other losers over time. But it's probably harder for someone like you.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
Wait, which part?
I mean, I feel like I can't even keep it in my own room. My dad would beat the shit out of me if he found this. At least it's safe here in the club room. Except Monica's kind of a jerk about it. Ugh, I just can't win, can I?
Well, it paid off at the end, didn't it? I mean, here I am reading it.
Well, it's not like that solves any of my problems.
Maybe, but at least you're enjoying yourself, right?
So?
Haha.
Jeez, that's enough.
I also wonder if, like, if, like, everyone else is gonna die, that my character doesn't romance. You know?
You gonna keep reading or what?
Yeah, I flipped the page. Time passes. Natsuki is strangely quiet now. I glance over at her.
Aww.
It looks like she started to fall asleep. Hey, Natsuki.
Yeah?
Suddenly, Natsuki collapses straight into me. Hey! Whoa.
Oh, jeez. Natsuki, are you okay? Here.
Monica reaches into her bag and pulls out some kind of protein bar. She throws it in Natsuki's direction. Natsuki's eyes suddenly light up again. She snatches the bar from the floor and immediately tears off the wrapper.
I told you not to give...
She doesn't even finish her sentence before stuffing it in her mouth.
Don't worry, Ricky. She's fine. It just happens every now and then.
She's like her pet.
That's why I always keep a snack in my bag for her. Anyway, why don't we all share poems now?
Gonna go with the same order.
When did we get into the second day?
What? Did it say it?
We didn't bring poems to the first day. She said, why don't we all share poems?
Yeah, yesterday they said we're gonna do poems overnight.
When did we get into today?
Like 5 minutes ago.
Oh.
This is a new day.
Okay. Yes, okay, I remember. Sorry.
It's
My
okay.
bad. Okay, well, let's start with the things I don't like. First of all,
Natsuki rereads my poem.
never mind, I don't feel like giving you my opinion.
Then what's the point of sharing in the first place? I wrote this when I could have been doing other things. In fact, remember how I said I wanted to read your poems? That's what I had in mind when writing this. I want to help you feel comfortable enough to share yours, like Monica said.
Ooh. Well, I would be more comfortable sharing my poems if yours was really bad. You were supposed to show me some dumb poem and make me go, ha, well, it's not that great, but let me show you what real literature looks like. And you went and ruined it. I hope you're happy.
So, in other words, you saying you liked it? Natsuki's retort gets caught in her throat.
You're so... You don't understand anything, do you? I already told you that you don't have to go announcing it to the world like you're all self-important.
Pretty sure you never actually said that. I say that mostly to myself. Natsuki must really hate me or something. I can't figure out if it's a win or a loss that you liked my poem. In any case, you still need to show me yours, right?
You're fine, I guess.
I have a feeling this might be weird.
Only because Monica will make me if I don't.
Okay, seems
That's
pretty
the same
normal.
one.
Oh, is it the same one?
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, I told you weren't gonna like it.
I like it.
What? Just be honest.
I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it?
Well, everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff, so people don't even take my writing seriously.
But isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid.
Yes, exactly! It's like when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like in this poem. Seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening, so I decided to write about it.
Yeah, I understand.
But the other nice thing about simple writing is it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like I set up for a rhyme at the end, but made it fall flat on purpose. Helps bring out the feeling in the last line.
So you did. I guess more went into it than I realized.
That's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something. Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did you?
Yeah, guess not. I decided to humor her with that last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki is feeling proud, then I won't take that away from her. Who should I show my poem to next? Well, we can't show it to Sayori, so I guess Yuri would be next on the list. Yuri stares at the poem. A minute passes, more than enough time for her to finish reading.
Sorry, I forgot to start speaking.
It's fine. Don't force yourself.
I'm not... I just need to put my thoughts into words. Hold on. Okay. This is your first time writing a poem, right?
Yeah. Why do you ask?
I'm just making sure. I guess that it might be after reading through it.
Ah, so it's that bad.
No! Did I just raise my voice? I'm so sorry.
Yuri buries her face in her hands. I couldn't help but notice that it's been several minutes and we haven't really gotten anywhere. It might take Yuri a while to get used to new people. It's fine, I didn't really notice. What were you saying?
Right, it's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers, and having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter and they form-fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened.
Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes.
There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even at...
Oh, okay, hang on. I didn't mean to do that.
Oh wait, we can skip.
Yeah, I don't want to, though.
Okay.
Things are gonna be different.
Okay. There are so many different skills and techniques that... Okay, of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many skills and techniques So many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take...
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that was
It might
already
take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things.
I want to see if anything on the menu is different too.
I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little bit biased, though.
Bias? How?
Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about other people like that. Sorry.
It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now?
Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it.
Yuri smiles dreamily, as if that's a rare opportunity for her, which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club?
This is also the same
also
one.
the same.
I'm sorry I have such terrible handwriting,
What? I wasn't thinking that at all.
but it took you a long time to read.
Well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting's pretty.
That's a relief.
Also, I like the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive.
It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems.
Not at all.
I'm really glad you liked it, I'll be honest. Since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose.
Are you into ghosts, Yuri?
Woohoo! Actually, the story isn't about ghosts at all, Ricky.
Really? I must have totally missed the point.
Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all. But remember that poets often express their own feelings, thoughts, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost. Lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing.
That's a lot more solemn, putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive.
It's nothing, really. Well, it makes me happy that you think that. Just remember that it won't be long before you pick up on these things too.
Yeah, maybe you're right. I guess I'll have to keep trying.
I'm counting on you.
Okay. So let's see if Monica's is any different.
Hi, Ricky. Having a good time so far?
Yeah.
Good, glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay?
Alright, I'll keep that in mind.
Of course.
She's always listening.
What?
She's always listening!
What?
Okay. So she is always listening. She straight up told us that, as the player. Of course I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in.
Anyway, want to share your poem with me?
It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to.
Don't worry, Ricky. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know? But that's sort of the barrier that we'll all learn to get past soon.
Yeah, that's true. I hand Monica my poem.
Mm-hmm. I like it, Ricky.
Really?
It's a lot cuter than I expected.
Oh, jeez.
No. Kinda makes me think of something Natsuki would write. And she's a good writer, too. So take that as a compliment.
If you say so.
Yep. If you're interested in Natsuki, then always keep a snack on you. She'll cling to you like a puppy.
Huh. That was Sayuri's personality trait previously. Now it's been shifted over to Natsuki.
Natsuki's dad doesn't give her lunch money or leave her
Oh
any
my
food
God.
in the house, so she's in a fussy mood pretty often.
So in this universe, her dad just abuses her.
Well,
okay,
he was abusive
that's true.
in the last two, where she
Was-
was like, my dad will kill me if I have a boy over, if I don't finish my dinner.
Yeah,
He gets mad.
I think they were just leading him to be strict in the previous version of this. In this, he's straight up abusive.
I don't know,
It
if
seems.
you threaten your child because they don't finish their plate, I don't think that's healthy.
Yeah.
But sometimes she just loses all her strength and shuts down. Like earlier. This is just a guess, but I think she's so small because her malnutrition
Oh my
is
God.
interfering with her adolescent growth. But hey, some guys are into petite girls too, you know?
Oh. So she's making us feel bad about saying that in the last version of this.
Sorry, just trying to look at the bright side.
Interesting. I like that a lot.
Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good.
You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to not be very good.
Well, that's because I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know?
I see. Well, let's read it then. This game is incredibly well written.
Can you read this poem again?
This is different.
No, it's not.
No, the first one, it is different. The first one I decided to read was it was about a butthole. Monica's was about a butthole the first time.
It was not about a butthole.
It was 100% about a butthole.
No,
but
it wasn't.
It wasn't this.
I remember what it was about.
It wasn't this.
It wasn't this, but it was...
It was about a butthole.
Ricky?
Hole in the wall. But he wasn't looking at me. Confused, I frantically glanced at my surroundings, but my burned eyes can no longer see color. Are there others in this room? Are they talking? Or are they simply poems on flat sheets of paper? The sound of frantic scrawling playing tricks on my ears? The room begins to crinkle, closing in on me. The air I breathe dissipates before it reaches my lungs. I panic. There must be a way out. It's right there. He's right there. Interesting. But he wasn't looking at me. Confused, I finally glanced at my surroundings. Swallowing my fears, I brandish my pen. So, this sounds like she's about to murder someone.
Is there a way for us to view the poems that were previously?
Previous ones?
Yeah.
I don't know. I will check. I don't think so, to be honest. We might be able to, like, outside of the game itself,
I might
think.
Google it.
Most likely.
I want you to reread it right now.
Okay.
Now that we've gotten a little farther into the game.
Yeah. It was definitely about a butthole. I watched the clip like 4 times in editing. So I know it was about a butthole. Did you find it?
It couldn't have been me. See? The direction that the spackle protrudes. A nosy neighbor? An angry boyfriend? I'll never know. I wasn't home. I peer inside for a clue. No! I can't see. I reel, blind like a film left out in the sun. But it's too late. My retinas. Already scorched with a permanent copy of the meaningless image. It's just a little hole. It wasn't too bright. It was too deep. Stretching forever into everything. A hole of infinite choices. I realize now that I wasn't looking in. I was looking out, and he, on the other side, was looking in.
So, my interpretation of that now,
Other than a butthole,
is she is like, so Monica is like essentially our main character now, right? Like everything about this is about her. She has quite literally found this hole that she can watch me through and see me anywhere, I think is kind of the idea.
Mm-hmm.
And it's turning into some weird, like she has access to this other universe kind of thing.
Ah! Yep.
It's very freeform, if that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback.
Yeah, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful.
What was the inspiration behind this one?
Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say I had some kind of epiphany recently.
And that's when it happened.
It's been influencing my poems a bit.
Okay. An epiphany?
Yeah, something like that.
She's torturing us, is what's happening. She's been watching the main character, everything that he does, and now she's torturing us for our decisions. Like she specifically brought up the thing about the food with Natsuki because the main character brought that up and he didn't know how that affected her.
When all 3 of them are on again, I want to ask you a question.
Okay.
I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on the paper and tidy it up later. Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening.
Okay. Whew. I guess that's everyone. I glance around the room. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. It's as if everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing abilities. Even though they're just being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. This is a literature club after all. I sigh. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Monica is writing something in her notebook. So internally, my character has been saying this whole time, I'm here for the girls. Mm-hmm. And then he's like, to the girls, he's like, yo, like, this is awesome. I love being here. Literature's cool. So, like, Monica definitely has an insight into his brain. Across the room, Monica is writing something in her notebook. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly.
What's with this language?
Oh, so this is the fight between them again.
Eh? Did you say something? Oh, it's nothing.
Natsuki dismissively returns the poem to the desk with one hand.
I guess you could say it's fancy. Thanks? Yours is cute. Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute? I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. Huh?
Oh, I was trying to say something nice.
You mean you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but it really didn't come out nice at all. Well, I do have a couple suggestions. If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked somebody who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Monica liked it, and Ricky did too. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me, I appreciate the offer, but I've spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect it to change anytime soon, unless of course I come across something particularly inspiring, which I haven't yet. And Ricky liked my poem too, you know. He even told me he was impressed by it.
Natsuki suddenly stands up.
Oh? I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri. That's not what you're just...
Yuri stands up as well.
Maybe you're just jealous that Ricky appreciates my advice more than he appreciated yours.
I like being able to hear the music a little better this time.
I feel like it's different.
It's definitely not. I think this is what was playing last time, but like it was just so low that we didn't really get the jive of it.
Huh, and how do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself? No. If I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. Well, you know what? I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Ricky started showing up. Natsuki, that's a little... This doesn't involve you!
Oh, that was different from last time, wasn't it?
No.
Wait,
Taking out your own insecurities on others
I think that was different.
Do you hear...
Yeah?
You really act as young as you look, Natsuki. Me? Look who's talking.
This is
you wanna be edgy,
different.
bitch? Edgy? Sorry that my lifestyle's too much for someone of your mental age to comprehend. See? Just saying that proves my point. Most people learn to get over themselves after they graduate middle school, you know.
Oof.
If you want to prove anything, then stop harassing others with your sickening attitude. You think you can counterbalance your toxic personality just by dressing and acting cute?
Oh!
The only cute thing about you is how hard you try. Whoa, be careful. You might cut yourself on that edge, Yuri. Oh, my bad. You already do, don't you?
Oh!
Did you just accuse me of cutting myself? What the fuck is wrong with your head?
Whoa!
Yeah, go on. Let Ricky hear everything you really think. I'm sure he'll be head over heels for you after this. Suddenly,
Yuri turns towards me as if she just noticed I was standing there.
Ricky? She's just trying to make me look bad. That's not true. She started it.
Whoa!
Did you pick one?
I'm picking Natsuki every time. Oh my god. Hello, Monica. I'm, like, not controlling how fast this is going at all. It's not letting me do anything. I can't do anything. What am I supposed to do?
Why don't we step outside for a little bit? Okay?
Whoa.
Sorry about that. They really shouldn't have tried to get you involved. It's probably better for us to stay out of this. We'll go back inside once they're done yelling. Some president I am, right? I can't even confront my own club members properly. I just wish I was a little more assertive sometimes. But I never have it in me to put my foot down against others. You understand, right? Anyway, if this makes you want to spend less time with the others, then that's fine. I'd be happy to spend time with you instead.
Suddenly, Natsuki runs out of the classroom. She quickly runs away.
Oh dear. Well, it looks like they're done. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it.
Yuri is rocking back and forth with her head in her palms and her forehead. I know that was not a sentence. Yuri?
I didn't mean it.
I believe you. I have no idea what Yuri might have said to Natsuki, or did.
Ricky, please don't hate me, please? I'm not like this. There's something wrong with me today. It's fine, Yuri. We know you didn't mean it. Besides, I'm sure Natsuki will forget all about it by tomorrow. Completely.
Literally, I suppose. I get the feeling that Monica is, like, controlling them.
Anyway, the meeting is over, so you can go home now if you want.
Maybe they don't even exist. Maybe Monica's the only one that's actually real. Yuri looks at me like she wants to say something, but she keeps glancing at Monica. Yeah, they're definitely afraid of her.
You can go first, Monica. I'd like to stay a little bit longer. I'm the president, so I should be the last one out. I'll wait for you to be done. Well, I'm vice president, so please let me take that responsibility today. Kinda sounds like you don't want me around for something, Yuri. It's not that. It's not that. I didn't get much of a chance to discuss my book with Ricky. It would be embarrassing with you listening. I guess I don't really have a choice, do I? I'm sorry for causing trouble.
Whoa! Okay, I didn't expect that. So I guess we're writing another poem. Awesome. Amazing. Rain cloud.
Games?
I don't like summer. Games. Animu.
Cheeks?
Cheeks. I like waterfalls. Destiny is the word that really called out to me on that one. Whirlwind, calm. Oh, I didn't pick boob. Damn it. Climax. Doki Doki. Music. Sing. Dark. Pure. Kissy Kissy. Peace. Raindrops again. And I like butterflies. Okay. Continuing with the Natsuki route, apparently. Another day passes and it's time for the club meeting already. I've gotten a little more comfortable here over the past couple days.
Sorry.
Entering the club room, the usual scene greets me.
Welcome back,
very
Ricky.
usual. Hi, Yuri's boob. I'm not sure if it's me or if it's Yuri's expression, but the weight of yesterday's quarrel still hangs in the air a little. Yuri glances over her shoulder, looking around the room. Natsuki is reading manga at a desk, and surprisingly, Monika isn't here yet. Suddenly, Yuri takes my arm and pulls me to the corner of the room.
About yesterday, I really need to apologize. Nothing like that's ever happened before. Something just came over me, I guess. I wasn't acting mentally sound. Please don't think we're usually like this. Not just me, but Natsuki as well.
Yuri, I'm happy that you were considerate and apologized. You don't have to worry, though. Even though I've only been here a couple days, I can tell something was off yesterday. Excuse me. I had the hiccups again. Maybe we were just a little extra sensitive because it was our first time sharing poems, but whatever it was, it didn't make me think any less of you. I had already decided that there was no way you could be a bad person. And now that you're apologizing, I know you really didn't mean it.
Ricky, don't say those kinds of things so frankly. They make me a little too happy. I'm really glad you're such an understanding person, and I'm really glad you joined this club. Everything's a little bit brighter with you around, and, sorry, what am I saying right now? Hey, have you guys seen Monika? Ah! No,
I haven't. I was also kind of wondering where she was.
Man. Yuri, I'm guessing you haven't either.
Yuri is clearly taken aback by how calmly Natsuki is addressing her.
No, I haven't. Jeez, this isn't like her at all. I know it's stupid, but I can't help but worry a little bit.
So she definitely... What was her excuse? For this day that she was late, she was... doing something.
Practicing piano.
Practicing piano, thank you. She's definitely not practicing piano.
What? Why are you looking at me like that? Natsuki, about yesterday, I just wanted to apologize. I promise I didn't mean any of the things I said, and I'll do my best to stay under control from now on. So, what the heck are you talking about, Yuri? Did you do something yesterday?
So she did forget about it.
Jeez. Whatever's on your mind, I'm sure it was nothing. I don't even remember anything bad happening. You're the kind of person who worries too much about all the little things, aren't you?
So I wonder if this is Monika speaking. This text.
But I'll accept your apology anyway if it makes you feel better about it. Besides, it's kind of nice to hear since I was always afraid you secretly hated me or something like that. Hehe. No, not at all. I don't hate you. Haha. Well, you're kind of weird, but I don't hate you either.
Natsuki turns to me.
You're still on trial, though.
Hey! Suddenly the door swings open.
Sorry, I'm super sorry.
Ah, there you are.
I didn't mean to be late. I hope you guys weren't worried or anything.
Nah. Well, Natsuki was.
I was not! What took you so long, anyway? Well, my last period today was study hall. To be honest, I kind of just lost track of time. That makes no sense, though. You would have heard the last bell ring, at least.
Oh,
You
no,
did
no,
hear
no,
that
no.
one.
Yeah.
I must not have heard it, since I was practicing piano.
Mm-hmm.
Piano? I wasn't aware you played music as well, Monika. Don't give me more credit than I deserve. I guess I've been practicing for a while, but I'm still not really good yet. Still? That must require a lot of dedication, so I'm still impressed. Oh, well thanks, Yuri. You should play for us You should play something for us sometime. That's...
Monika looks at me.
Well, I am working on writing a song, but it's not quite done yet. Maybe once I get a little bit better, I will.
That sounds cool. I look forward to it.
Is that so? In that case, I won't let you down, Ricky.
Monika smiles sweetly. I didn't mean to put pressure or anything like that.
Don't worry. I was hoping I could share it with you anyway. I guess that's why I've been practicing so much recently.
I see. I'm not sure if Monika was referring to the whole club or just me. In that case, best of luck.
Thanks! So I didn't miss anything, did I?
Nah, not really. I chose not to bring up anything that the three of us talked about. Besides, Natsuki has already run off to the closet.
Ricky, since your compliments put me in a good mood, I was wondering if you would like to spend some time together today? I mean, in the club?
I suppose so. I don't think I could say no to you after the book you gave me. Well, I guess I just need to make sure Natsuki isn't waiting for me after we finished reading yesterday.
She's fine. She's reading over there, see? Don't think about her so much. She's used to being ignored. Come on, we're going over there.
Okay. What's the story about, anyway?
Well,
I look at the cover of the book. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous-looking eye symbol on the front cover.
basically it's about a religious camp that was turned into a human experiment prison. And people trapped there have this trait that turns them into killing machines and lust for blood. But the facility gets even worse, and they start selectively breeding people by cutting off their limbs and affixing them to... Oh, that might be a bit of a spoiler.
Sounds interesting to me.
But anyway, I'm really into it.
Also, it's interesting to me that I clearly chose more words that were associated with Natsuki last night, but it forced me to hang out with Yuri today. It's interesting.
The book, I mean. Not the thing about all the limbs.
That's kind of dark, isn't it? Yuri made it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so that dark turn came from nowhere. Oh, that's like this game. That's literally them referring to the game itself.
Are you not a fan of that sort of thing, Ricky?
No, it's not that. I mean, I can definitely enjoy those kinds of stories, so don't worry.
I hope so.
Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri is into those things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different.
It's just this kind of story, it's the kind that challenges you to look at life from a strange new perspective. When horrible things happen, not just because someone wants to be evil, but because the world is full of horrible people and we're all worthless anyway.
Oh,
I'm rambling, aren't I?
Yeah, that skipped itself.
Not again. I'm sorry.
I wonder if I can check that. Yeah, you can. You can see anything that it skips for you in the history. That's good to know. That is really good to know. Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything.
Well, I guess it's alright then. But I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like books and writings fill my thoughts,
Oh, it doesn't? Never mind. I lied. You don't get to see it.
I kind of forget to pay attention to other people.
I'll have to pause the video and post.
No, I'm sorry if I ended up saying something strange. Please stop me if I start talking too much.
I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen. It's a literature club after all. Wonder if she was speaking literally there.
That's true.
In fact, I might as well get started reading it, right?
Yes!
She just turned into Yukiko from Persona 4 just there with that color scheme.
I was thinking 02.
I don't know what that is.
The girl in the red with the pink hair and the little devil ears. I mean, you don't have to, but...
What are you saying? Let me just get the book. I'll quickly retrieve the book that I had put into my bag. Alright, it's fine if I sit here, right? I slip into the seat next to Yuri's. Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive. Oh, okay.
I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to, it's just not something I'm very used to. That is, reading in company with someone.
I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. I'm gonna go check on her just in case. Julia's just checking on the cats because we heard something weird from back there.
Hey!
I need to hydrate anyways. Shit's getting weird, man. This shit's getting weird. And thank you very much to anyone that's been hanging out at the stream, watching, anything like that. I appreciate it a lot. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. And this is Corey. She's our kitten. And, she is a big poopy butt.
Yeah.
And she's very skittish, but she's starting to get really good. I open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not a particularly bad thing, maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri's in the corner of my eye. I realize that she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. Lily's watching us back there. It looks like she's reading from my book instead.
Sorry.
Oh, okay. Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you?
I do? I don't really mean to. Sorry. Is there no music playing?
There is not.
Okay. I mean...
Here, this should work, right? I slide my desk until it's up against Yuri's and then hold my book more between the two of them.
I suppose so.
Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we each lean in a bit, our shoulders are almost touching. It feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead I use my right hand to hold the book open. I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the page. Yuri takes out her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. I do the same with my right arm on the right side of the book. That way I turn a page and Yuri slides it under her thumb as it flips to her side. But in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face and she's in the corner of my vision.
Are you ready?
Huh?
To turn the page.
Sorry. I think I got a bit distracted for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face again and our eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. I bet she reads a lot faster than he does.
Yeah. That's okay. You're not as used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. It's probably the least I can do.
Oh,
Since you've been so patient with me.
Yeah, thanks. We continue reading. Lily got jealous. Literally. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she finishes the page before me, so I turn it by my own volition. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Hey, Yuri? This might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a bit.
No, I don't relate to this character at all. Definitely not.
Really? I was just thinking that the way she second-guesses things that she says and all that.
That's what you were talking about.
I wonder if Monica is going to make it so she doesn't do that anymore.
Sorry. I thought you meant something else about her.
Something else?
Never mind. We didn't even get that far yet.
Talking about her boobies.
So I don't know why that came into my head.
Yuri, are you feeling alright? Yuri's been a little fidgety ever since we started reading. You can rest if you're feeling sick or something. Your breathing is a little...
My breathing?
Yuri puts her hands on her chest as if to feel her heartbeat.
I didn't even notice. Anyway, I'm fine. I just need some water.
Alright, don't push yourself. Yuri stands up and practically rushes out of the classroom. What on earth was that about?
Ricky? Did something happen just now?
So, yeah, this is the same situation as with Natsuki, but with Yuri instead this time, because the game forced me to. Huh? I have no idea. Yuri was acting a little strange, I guess.
So you don't know anything?
Sorry, I can't say I do. Are you worried about her?
Oh no, not really. I was just making sure you didn't do anything to her.
No, nothing.
Don't worry, I believe you, silly. Yuri just does this sometimes. It's nothing alarming.
Alright, if you say so.
Anyway, why don't we start with sharing our poems with each other?
Huh? Shouldn't we wait for Yuri? Well, she might... Oh.
Well, she might be a while, so I just figured we should get started without her. Is that okay?
Yeah, I was just asking. I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book and then slip it into my bag.
That is not a good way of doing that.
No. Bookmarks are definitely
The
necessary.
music kind of scared me.
I guess we're only showing it to Natsuki and Monica today. Wonder how Natsuki's been doing.
Well, it's not terrible, but it's pretty disappointing after your last one. Then again, if this one was as good as your last one, I would be completely pissed. Well, I guess I would...
Well, I guess I wanted to try to say something a little different this time.
Fair enough. You're still new to this, so I wouldn't expect you to find your style right away. I mean, everyone in the club writes differently from each other. Maybe you'll find a little influence from all of us. For instance, I noticed that you were spending some time with Yuri today. Not that I care who you spend your time with. After all, I was taught to never expect anything from anybody. So it's not like I was waiting for you or anything. Still, you should at least look over my poem. You'll probably be able to learn something from it. Okay, please. You don't have to do that. Ricky? Why didn't you come read with me today? I was waiting for you. I was waiting for a long time. It was the only thing I had to look forward to today. Why did you ruin it? Do you like Yuri more? I think you're better off not associating with her. Are you listening to me? Yuri's a sick freak. That should be obvious by now. So just play with me instead, okay? You don't hate me, Ricky, do you? Do you hate me? Do you want me to go home crying? The club is the only place I feel safe. Don't ruin that for me. Don't ruin it, please. Just stop talking to Yuri. Play with me instead. That's all I have. Play with me. Play with me.
Oh my god. I didn't expect that.
Nah.
That's what I was thinking. Whoa. I guess we'll show our poem to Monica now. Goodbye.
Hi again, Ricky.
Natsuki, I suppose.
How's the writing going?
Alright, I guess.
I'll take that, as long as it's not going bad. I'm happy that you're applying yourself. Maybe soon you'll come up with a masterpiece.
I wouldn't count on that.
You never know. Want to share what you wrote for today?
Sure, here you go. I gave my poem to Monica.
Alright. Great job, Ricky. I was going, ooh, in my head while reading it. It's really metaphorical.
She didn't say that last time.
I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep.
It's almost as if my character did learn from the last time.
Yeah. I guess I underestimated you.
It's easiest for me to keep everyone's expectations low. That way, it always counts when I put in some effort.
That's not very fair. Well, I guess it worked anyway. You know that Yuri likes this kind of writing, right? Writing that's full of imagery and symbolism. Sometimes I feel like Yuri's mind is just totally detached from reality. I don't mean that like it's a bad thing, though. But sometimes I get the impression that she's just totally given up on people. She spends too much time in her own head that it's probably a more interesting place for her. But that's why she gets so happy when you treat her with a lot of kindness. I don't think she's used to being indulged like that.
So she, like, really knows these girls' feelings.
She must be really starved for social interaction, so I don't blame her for coming on a little strongly, like earlier. I think if she got too stimulated, she ends up withdrawing and looks for alone time.
Suddenly, the door opens.
Yuri! I'm back. Did I miss anything? Not really. Well, we all started sharing our poems with each other. Already? I'm sorry for being late. No need to apologize. We still have plenty of time, so I'm more glad that you took all the time you needed. Alright, thanks, Monica. Suppose I should get my poem now. But anyway, you want to read my poem now? I like the way this one turned out. I hope you do too.
Save me. The colors there won't. Bright, beautiful colors. Flashing, expanding, piercing, red, blue, and endless cacophony of meaningless noise.
You skipped green.
My bad. The noise, it won't stop! Violent, grating
Waveforms?
Squeaking, screeching, piercing, sine, cosine, tangent! Like playing on a chalkboard or on a turntable, like playing a knife on a breathing ribcage. Endless poem of meaningless. Interesting. Delete her.
Sorry, I know it's kind of abstract. I'm just trying to, well, never mind. There's no point in explaining. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes you'll find yourself facing a difficult decision. When that happens, don't forget to save your game. You never know when, who am I talking to?
It was different, though.
Can you hear me? Tell me you can hear me. Anything? Please help me.
Whoa.
That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening.
Okay, now I can show my poem to Yuri because she's back.
I've been waiting for this. Let's see what you've written for today.
Yuri smiles and takes a deep breath.
I just like holding it. I mean, poem turned out good. It's, well, there are some things that you could work on, but that doesn't really matter. I feel like it feels like anything written by you is a treasure. That came out a little awkward. Let's move on. Here's the poem I wrote. You don't have to like it or anything. This is long.
It's not written like a poem. It's written like a story.
Wheel. A rotating wheel, turning an axle, grinding, bolt head, linear gearbox, falling sky, 7 holy stakes, a docked ship, a portal to another world, a thin rope tied to a thick rope, a torn harness, parabolic gearbox, expanding universe, time controlled by slipping cogwheels, existence of God, swimming with open water in all directions, drowning, a prayer written in blood, a prayer written in time, devouring snakes with human eyes, a thread connecting all living human eyes, a kaleidoscope of holy stakes, exponential gearbox, a sky of exploding stars, God disproving the existence of God, a wheel rotating in 6 dimensions, 40 gears on a ticking clock, a clock that ticks 1 second for every rotation of the planet, a clock that ticks 40 times every time it ticks every second time, a bolt head of holy stakes tied to the existence of a docked ship to another world, a kaleidoscope of blood written in clocks, a time-devouring prayer connecting a sky of 40 gears and opening... and open human eyes in all directions. Breathing gearbox, breathing bolt head, breathing ship, breathing portal, breathing snakes, breathing God, breathing blood, breathing holy stakes, breathing human eyes, breathing time, breathing prayer, breathing sky, breathing wheel.
That was most certainly written by Monica.
It doesn't really matter what it's about. My mind has been a little hyperactive lately, so I had to take it out on my pen. That is, a pen fell out of your backpack yesterday, so I took it home for safekeeping, and
Oh.
I just really like the way that it writes. So I wrote this poem with it, and now you're touching it. I'm okay. What did I just... Can we pretend this conversation never happened? You can keep the poem, though.
I don't know if I want to read this one.
Yeah.
I didn't like the last one.
Yeah. Read it! Oh!
Today
woo.
I cut my skin open for the first time. It was exhilarating. I think I understand how blank feels now. I'm supposed to be the responsible one, though, so I don't think I'll be doing it again unless I decide to kill myself. I left a memento of the occasion below. Huh.
Great. That's cool.
Also kind of sounds like it's written by Monica.
Okay, everyone. We're all done reading each other's poems, right? We have something we need to go over today, so if everyone could come sit in the front of the room. Is this about the festival? Well, sort of. Ugh, do we really have to do something for the festival? Why is Natsuki here?
Why wouldn't she be here?
Because we watched her die?
Yeah. I didn't take that as her actually dying.
It's not like we
Just
can,
took it as
but then we
weird
didn't
stuff
like
happening.
share our poem with her.
No, we shared it with her first. And then that happened. Yes, we shared our poem with her.
Okay.
We read hers, and
Okay.
then that happened.
Okay.
That was it.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. It's not like we can put together anything good in just a few days.
I distinctly remember seeing the 3 options and being like, alright, we're going with Natsuki again.
Okay.
Hi, Lily.
We'll just end up embarrassing ourselves and instead of getting any new members.
Wow.
That's a concern of mine as well. I don't really do well with last-minute preparations. Don't worry so much. We're gonna keep it simple, okay? Look, I know everyone's been a little more lively since Ricky joined, and we've started with some club activities. But this isn't time for us to become complacent. We still only have 4 members, and the festival's our only real chance to find more, you know? What's so great about getting new members anyway? We already have enough to be considered an official club. More members will just mean everything gets noisier and more difficult to manage. Natsuki, I don't think you're looking at it the right way at all. Don't you want to share your passion with as many people as you can? To inspire them to find the same feelings that brought you here in the first place? The Literature Club should be a place where people can express themselves like they can't do anywhere else. It should be a place so intimate that you can never want to leave. That you never want to leave. I know you feel that way too. I know we all do. So that's why we should work hard and put something together for the festival. Right, Ricky? Oh, come on. You can't take advantage of Ricky to agree with you just because he doesn't know how to say no to anything. Look, Monica. Do you really think any of us here joined the club with other people in mind? Yuri never even talked until Ricky joined. As for me, I just like it better here than I do at home. And Ricky isn't even passionate about literature in the first place. And that's everyone. Sorry, but you're really the only one who's interested in finding new members. The rest of us are fine like this. I know you're president and all, but you should really consider our opinions for once.
Monica is clearly taken aback by Natsuki's words.
That's not true at all. I'm sure Yuri and Ricky want to get more members too, right?
I don't know about Yuri, but I'm kind of indifferent. If I showed as much enthusiasm as Monica wanted, then I would probably be lying. Still, if it's up to me to rescue this situation, Lily is getting all up in our business.
No. Natsuki's right, isn't she? This club, it's nothing more than a place for a few people to hang out. Why did I think that everyone here saw it the same way as I did?
But that doesn't mean that we're against getting new members or anything.
Ricky, why did you even join this club? What were you hoping to get out of it?
Well, that's not really something they can be honest about, is it?
In fact, if I remember, you weren't even given a choice not to join.
Monica sits down and stares at her desk.
What's the point of all this anyway? What if starting this club was a mistake? Now you've done it, Natsuki. What, me? I just spoke my mind. Is it a crime to be honest? It's not about being honest. It's about word choice. Besides, you have no right to speak for everyone else in the club like that. You don't understand at all. I just want a place that feels nice to hang out with a few friends. Is there a problem with the club being that for me? There aren't many other places like that for me. And now Monica wants to take it away from me? She's
not taking anything away.
No, Ricky. It's not the same. It won't be the same with the direction she wants to take it. If I wanted that, then I could have just joined any other stupid club. But this one, I mean, at least for a little bit of time, things were nice.
Natsuki starts packing up her things.
I'm going home. I feel like I don't belong here right now. Natsuki.
Natsuki ignores Yuri and walks right out of the classroom.
This is bad. I don't know what to do.
Well, do you have an opinion on the festival?
I don't know. Kind of indifferent, I guess. Who cares about that obnoxious brat? I mean, I like how nice and quiet the club is right now. And I'm just happy with you here. But still, I'm the vice president. It's not right for me to ignore my responsibilities like that. Nobody would cry if she killed herself.
Oh my god.
I should do my best to consider everyone's perspective and make the decision that's right for the club. What about you, Ricky? What do you want to get out of the club?
Yuri repeats the same question as Monica. I decide giving an indirect answer is better than nothing. I think the most important thing is for everyone to get along, and for the club to provide something that you can't get anywhere else. I don't think it's about how many members, but rather the quality of each member. That's what will end up making the Literature Club a special place.
I see. I really agree with you. Each member contributes their own qualities in a special way. With each change in members, the identity of the club will, as a whole, will change too. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, stepping out of your comfort zone once in a while. So if you'd like to help Monica with the festival, then I'm on your side as well.
Oh, she's crying blood. Alright. Well, maybe we can all talk to Natsuki tomorrow. Yuri nods.
Hey, Yuri. I know things were a little awkward yesterday, but I feel like you deserve to know that I still think you're a wonderful vice president, and also a wonderful friend. Monica, I want to do everything I can to make this the best club ever, okay? Me too. Yeah, let's all go home for today. We'll talk about the festival tomorrow. Okay, I look forward to it. Shall we go, Ricky? Please don't take this the wrong way, but I'm gonna chat a little bit with Ricky before we leave. Just to see what he thinks of his time here and all that. It's important to me, as president.
Yuri looks a little troubled, but she doesn't protest.
I trust your judgment, Monica. In that case, I'll see the two of you tomorrow. See you tomorrow.
Monica waits as Yuri exits the classroom.
Phew. Things have been a little hectic lately, haven't they? Ricky, I just wanted to make sure you're enjoying your time at this club. I would really hate to see you unhappy. It's kind of like I'm responsible for that as president. And I really do care about you, you know? I don't like seeing the other girls give you a hard time with how mean Natsuki is and everything.
You're wiggling the pop filter on the mic from bouncing your leg up and down.
And Yuri being a little bit, you know. Sometimes it feels like you and I are the only real people here.
That was one of my predictions.
You know what I mean? But it's weird, because in all the time you've been here, we've hardly gotten to spend any time together. I mean, I guess it's technically only been a couple days. Sorry, I didn't mean to say something weird. There are just some things I've been hoping to talk to you about. Things I know only you could understand.
Oh. So it didn't seem like she had control over that. She didn't want that to happen. Huh. Well, I think that's where we're gonna end it for today. It's been a bit of a longer stream this time. The game is definitely ramping up now. It's definitely getting pretty crazy. So we're gonna go ahead and save. Oh, our previous save wasn't there either from the first playthrough. It's interesting. Well, thank you all very much for coming by and checking out the stream, and for everyone who came via the Troublemaker, thank you very much. And I hope you guys have a good rest of the night. We'll have to pick this up on another stream probably sometime later this week, but we'll see. Have a good night, everyone.